everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody. Companion 2.0. Let's go AO. Link in the comments. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. A good quality picture here.
Hey, hey, hey.
What a weird. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Honestly, not gonna lie.
Please don't.
Dang job.
That's good. Chat, I'm not checking anything that's being said, so if you're saying something particularly rude, I'm a little distracted. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. 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 Do my Discord announcement as well. Hey, everybody! Hey, everybody! Let's get a good meme to announce in my Discord. Hey, Russian. My goat's eternal just got rolled. I need some emotional support. That's all you got, sorry. Hey, Poke. Hey, everybody. Will you be watching out live? Yes, I will. Watching out live. Okay. Ooh, Johnny's doing a breakdown. My boy Johnny. Woo! Hey, Shinda. Let's check out what Johnny's got here, mates. So let's get my Overwatch closed down for now. Let's see what my boy Johnny's got. Hey, everybody. I'm gonna skip back just a little bit, so there's gonna be a little bit of a delay. Just FYI.
I never actually saw that.
Bingo, right there, okay? It says right here, Outlaws, okay?
Nice.
This is really important because Teru, in this split frame, he acknowledges that. And he thinks,
I missed this match, by the way, also. I saw it was a video, sadly.
The Washington Justice, they react to this clue and this information. As we play this clip forward and just roll it up a little bit, we're going to see that finally Washington Justice, Teru comes out. They're rich in old charge, and immediately the hunt is on. We're seeing the Brig here, we're seeing the Sombra, the Tracer. They're saying, oh, the Tracer's there. Malthel is on Tracer. That means that a Sombra that is rich on old charge is probably going to be lurking nearby. So now, using the Tracer's position right here, how do we find the Sombra? How do we find the Sombra?
I missed this lesson in the Overwatch school.
So, I mean, let's just start right here, okay? So, utilizing the Fibonacci sequence, okay? So there's going to be tons of
Johnny's
numbers
going
here.
deep.
There's like 1, 1, 2,
But that was a
3,
number?
5, 8. Get to like 21 here.
Do you have a
13,
different alphabet, like numerical system in
34.
Sweden? I wonder.
I mean, this is like a beautiful...
I do not recognize anything
So
here.
we have 34 here, right? Now, if you utilize
One
this,
for the fridge.
right? Okay, so probably this is the team. The tanks and stuff, they're over here, right? So we have one angle here, one angle here. So utilizing the Fibonacci sequence, we probably get 34, which is a Fibonacci number. This right here seems like 34. 34 degrees, this acute angle right here, right? So knowing that the Tracer's here, the tanks are here, the Sombra probably is over here, right? Now, utilizing the number 34 as well, if we use, you know, Teru's sensitivity here, he probably has around like 800 DPI, right? That's pretty normal. Jake, confirm.
Standard, agreed.
Standard. Now, if Tiro Sense is 4.33,
That's the first thing I've understood.
pretty much, repeating, of course, 4.33. If we times that number, we get to about 3,200 using these numbers, right? And then, you know, using like a 10 times 3,
It'd be 266,
we get
I think.
to about, you know,
Yeah.
4,300 something. So something like that. So, you know, we just play this out. He's using all this math. Boom. That's how you do it.
Yeah, saw that.
Johnny, I think you might have a future coaching. Maybe only for
It's
the
just
Vegas
math.
Eternal, though.
It's just math.
It's very simple. It's just our little
800
pigeon brains don't quite grasp it.
That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna.
Was, what did you call it? 4,000?
Wait, wait.
800 times 4, that's 3,200.
Oh, okay,
Then you use 80 times 3,
Okay.
which is 240. So 3,200 plus 240, 3,400, and like, you know, so 34.
Obviously.
Is it a
It was just-
Fibonacci? I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are all
Taro's
numbers.
rich.
Indeed.
Someone needed to see.
That was pretty funny. That was wild. Do you not support Tier 2 Overwatch? No, heck no, y'all. Bunch of homeless idiots. Who cares about contenders players, am I right? I don't care who you are. If you have not been in or made it or are currently in the league, you are literally not even worth my time. As far as I'm concerned, Contenders isn't a developing ground. All the Contenders players are legit 4.4 hard stuck trash can inbred morons that are completely irrelevant until they get signed to the league, and then all of a sudden, bang, they level up. I don't know how it's done. It's like a Pokemon evolution. You're like, who are you? Oh, you're the great. I mean, that's what happened with Proper. Guy was legit trash can, and he signed like a $6 million contract, and somehow that there was some sort of like physiological cellular, like down to like the mitochondria. We had like some sort of adjustment, and the man just went like that. The more you're paid, it actually changes the way that your brain works, and you become a better Overwatch player. I too hate the poor. If you're not being paid in 6 figures, 7 figures, maybe 8 figures, then honestly, you're not really worth my time. What about Necros? Who? You're not ugly, you're just poor, you're not noob. I think it's both. You're ugly and poor if you're in Contenders. I think that's a good way of saying things. I know that's how it worked for me. I remember I got signed to London Spitfire, and it was just chest hair. My butt cheeks got plumper. My shoulders, my deltoids grew. My hippocampus, right? Grew? The brain thing?
That's when you're sleeping ability, right?
Slept like a baby now that I was making 7 figures. Do you know why Genji was being played in Junkertown? Yes. It's snipers. Alpha E really good at Genji. I mean, today, I don't know. Was it Vegas playing? I know why it was being played by London, or yeah. No, there's no Junkertown. Yeah, I mean, just because Genji's really good versus snipers. And, like, if like the way Alpha E was playing it was like really, really smart as well, making it really hard to mark him with the tracer. Genji is like, Genji's always been a pretty decent pick. Genji's just, honestly, Genji is like, okay, here's the thing with Genji in Junkertown. He's bad until you get like unless you have you need a team that like plays around it well, and you have to know the playstyle like really, 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 really well, because it is easy to get caught with your pants down. But yeah, Primalinia, thank you so much for the raid, mate. 180 hours in Genji, still know how to play Genji? Those are rookie numbers, mate. I must have like 400 hours in Genji, and I'm absolutely trash. He's probably one of my worst DPS. It's embarrassing. I picked up Mei, and I'm Masters 4 on Mei, and I had like 12 hours on Mei prior to this competitive season. Thank you for the orange.
You're welcome. Oh, I said it like AI.
Oh, go home. CJ looks like a have you seen this man picture. The quality of the picture is, it's not even budget. It's like what budget thinks is budget. Who's the hardest DPS to master? Tracer, Echo? Yeah, definitely Tracer. To master, I mean, and by master, I mean like the nth tier, you know what I'm saying? Poke? No, I wouldn't. Well, hi, Katie. She's calm. Yeah, I think to make it, you would having a Genji specialist, you can make it work on that map very well into double snipers. I think if you had like a Tracer specialist, you'd probably see Tracer, and so on. I mean, you could look at what he was doing in that map, and how disciplined and how he was playing. Because they were on his freaking POV like the entire map. And he was playing really well. Because the thing with Genji and Junkerton is it's like, if you can avoid that wide open space, he's alright in my opinion. You just have to find a way to like avoid that area. And like wrap around flank. Like I also think that if Backbone had rotated better, around further away from the Genji, or had gotten help sooner, then it would have been, the Genji would have had a hard time. Is Plat decent for 300 hours? I mean, yeah, obviously. You're average now for 300 hours, that's not bad. Made my day. Must not have had much of a day then. You're a smile. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Any improvement? Anyone ever has ever improved? I agree, but I'm too nice to say it. I think the way of looking at it is like, I've known people that like have a tendency to get good at stuff really, really fast, but then also have a hard time like mastering things. You know, they get good and they get bored and they move on to the next thing. Where somebody's like more of like methodical, slowly gets better at stuff, but then they kind of stick with it and they like get really, really good at it. And then you have geniuses like me that get really good at stuff and then master stuff instantly as well. So I'll be an L soon, don't worry. Well, I'm not worried. Just make sure that when you get to Al, that I get my monthly stipend. That's the word, right? Stipend?
I think so.
Yeah. I'll take 46%. I can negotiate for 40%, but there's gonna have to be some other perks.
Who's that?
Moxie and Dogman.
Who's Moxie?
She's new, kind of. She was doing contenders for a little bit. She's like very even-tempered. Like I don't mind her casting too much. I've enjoyed it. So like 1K. No, I told you. You're not getting signed to Al if you're not being paid 1 mil. All those contracts that you've seen leaked by these so-called poverty organizations like the Valiant, it's just memes. Now you could tell the Valiant are more of a poverty organization because their players, they're not the best team in the world. But they're being paid at least 7 or 8 mil per player. Whereas teams like Shock are definitely hitting the 8-figure mark. Okay, we're about to start, y'all. Oasis. Oh, I need to update my UI. Wait, my thing is not even updating here. What the heck? Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I need to update my thing here. It is Valiant versus Outlaws. I will not forget, yesterday was a disaster, or day before yesterday was a disaster. Okay, let's go.
The role, like, not to spam that sleep dart.
Was there a one trick in Al ever, or is there even possible?
That'll give you a higher percentage.
I would say Venom from Tracer from Atlanta Rain was more of a Tracer one trick. There have been one tricks. Was it not? Who's the ball one trick that played for? There was one ball one trick. I can't remember, but he didn't play very much. Okay. Jungle Queen, Winston dive, anti-dive from Valiant. I'm doing a video in detail about why you play Junker Queen and how you play Junker Queen and why Junker Queen is being played. I'm also going to talk about why Moira is being played in dive as well. So TLDR is just basically you have a very self-sufficient tank that's pretty good at poking out DPS that has Shout as a defensive cooldown versus dive. And you play him with the Torbjorn Tracer to try and control space and deny angles on the dive ahead of time. The Kiriko is more to enable the Tracer pre-dive and the Torb pre-dive than it is to deny the dive itself. I guess a little bit of both, right? I actually do like this composition from Valiant. It's definitely harder to play on this map. This is not as good of an anti-dive map, but it could definitely work. The Ana is a good pick from Outlaws, though, to play versus this, because you don't need the Moira. Like, you need to kind of control space and control angles, so something like an Ana or a Kiriko is going to be a lot better with a dive, especially considering they're on Sombra Tracer. It's a good nade. That's going to force Suzu, I think, and Shout, so that is a big opening for Outlaws, but obviously they kite it out nicely. The nade misses from Shu. That's actually huge. Fearless might die for that. They do get the nano, though. That's unfortunate. I don't think Valiant played that one too poorly. I think there should have been and could have been more punished from N2S and Seeker, and to a lesser extent CJ and Crawley as well, after, because like Outlaws kept cycling their dives and they were not succeeding. They weren't getting the kills. That's a huge opportunity for Valiant to try and get a punish on the Fearless or a DPS, and they just weren't able to do it. The problem obviously is retaking with this composition is a lot harder, because the Outlaws have the perfect setup for like every single dive. Well, you have to have the stream pulled up. I can't stream the game, y'all. Lizard will go to my house and knock, you know, ring my doorbell and run. Here comes EMP. It's fat EMP, that's it. GG's. Whoa! Good punish, though. So Crawley, I don't think dodged EMP there, nor did... So for this to work, they do get the double support out. That's not a terrible trade. You really need to have your Junker Queen dodge the EMP for the Shout there. Because if you could Shout that, they actually Valiant probably pretty easily live that, because they'll live long enough to get the Suzu. And then obviously they've committed a lot of cooldowns, Outlaws have, and you know, and so on. They might go aggressive here. Look at Happy. I guess Happy's just farming. YouTube. Just type in Overwatch League and look for the live stream in YouTube. Genuine, thank you for the gifted subs, mate. I will check this briefly. I really appreciate it, mate, as always. That's a nice knife from freaking Crawley. Okay, cat hero. He does force... That's huge. That's a fight winner right there from Crawley. Torbo as well, of course, but theoretically winnable. Yeah. What a hero play from Crawley. N2S might actually swap. No, I guess he'll stay. There's really nothing else to swap to here. If like, okay, he does go Sombra. Sombra, even the Sombra's tricky though. Oh my gosh, 5 tier 3 subs. Jeez, mate. Thank you for the gifted subs, man. Congrats to Intheo, AFK Noob, Scarlet Penguin, G Baby, and Torb Hammer Booty Smacker. Brilliant. Oh, that's a huge kill. So it definitely looked like Outlaws were focusing the Lucio there because he had beat. So it is really hard. It's a hard life playing Lucio into Winston Sombra Tracer as well. So a bit of a disaster. I don't even know if they're going to be able to touch beyond the first initial touch. Yeah. It doesn't matter either way. That was it. A Valiant attempt by the Valiant. Big thing there is JQ needing to dodge the EMP, and I'm not sure exactly how Lucio got sorted out there, but that last fight, Liar just dying to nothing, just looked like a manual hack, is rough, right? So that's more on Valiant being able to mark. I do kind of like the composition Valiant are playing. They're not going to beat the Outlaws in a dive mirror, so playing something more anti-dive around the Queen Torb is definitely a flavor, and it makes sense. The execution was a little lacking in some ways, but I think it's a reasonable. If my game is really far ahead, y'all, let me know, chat, is my game ahead seriously? Because I can pause it and wait. I can like put myself like 5 seconds behind. It literally doesn't matter at all. So the Echo, more of a high ground oriented thing. The Sombra is super interesting. I don't know how much I love the Sombra. I think a Tracer might be better, but I'm honestly not too sure. At least versus the anti-dive composition that they probably were expecting. The Echo is really good versus the Torb, though. It's such a fat hitbox, hit shots, and it's easy to break turret. Liar's caught out again. Liar really needs help clearing out these flankers. I think I know what he's intending to do. Oh my gosh. Backline gets way too aggressive. Backline ego is hard. Pelican should die. But Liar needs his Tracer's help to be able to mark Sombra like that. It's actually really important that they clear out Sombra like that, but Liar should not be doing it by himself. Or he needs to be able to cancel the hack better than he was doing it there. It's good. If some of you guys are desynced though, I might wait until this map is done and pause for just 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, just to make sure that everybody's, you know, we always play for the lowest common denominator, right? Nice fight though. Seekers gets hacked. Really, Seeker should not ever be getting hacked, because the problem with the Seeker getting hacked is it puts him at a disadvantage in like the flanker trade, which Tracer should always be winning that one, honestly. But I don't want to see Seeker hacked ever. Seeker should be the one hunting down Happy, making Happy's life miserable, not the other way around.
This is brilliant news for Valiant. They've now been given time to try to build towards the sound barrier to deal
Okay.
with the EMP.
If it's only one person, maybe it's okay. But you guys saw that at least here that... Oh. That is a ballsy play by Valiant, and I'm a big fan. They juked the dive. Did you guys see that? They juked the dive. They actually dove back. They amped speed in, they pop their overload with like Torb and such, and they just juke it in. Risky. But honestly, it's really not even a bad trade. You're looking at the problem with the Valiant's ult economy there, besides the fact that they just have weaker ults, is that they still don't have Jungle Queen ult, they still didn't have Torb ult. So, you know, they hit Nano, they hit Primal first, so you might as well try and trade backlines, because you're not going to like win a straight up ult trade. Seeker's looking for Sombra. They have to worry about EMP. Krabi or Liar or CJ or all of them need to dodge EMP as best they can. Like, if they all get hit, they're cooked. Because we either need an immediate beat, an immediate Suzu, or an immediate Shao. All of them got hit. Huh. And that'll do. I think you need I don't know. You can spy check a little bit more with your Tracer. I would have to look back at like what angle Seeker was scouting, because that's a bit of a memer. I think the thing I'm enjoying about the Valiant is it seems like they're trying stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not like playing, you know, beta male. Just kind of they're at least like trying comps, and like there's at least some sort of cohesion with like some of the stuff that they're doing. Early beat, they find Happy. That's a huge knife. Now we can ult this if you need to. It's so unfortunate because it's a good Torb ult. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get out of the choke though. It's a bit of a disaster. Oh, Liar gets smoked. I mean, I don't know what else to say here. It might have just been mechanics, because I felt like Valiant took that fight very well. It started off really well. All the ults were used, were fine. But it feels like Seeker is like super quiet. It feels like all these situations where like Seeker into us, surely in that devolved fight, somebody with a gun is going to hit a shot, right? So I don't know, y'all. Like I'm not having a huge issue with the way Valiant approached that, but shots need to hit. You know what I'm saying? You get the rotation that you wanted. You hit the knife. Probably hits the knife on the Hanzo. Crucially, was it the Hanzo? I swear it was Hanzo. Am I blind? Was it the Hanzo? I'm gonna go back here. Yeah, it was Hanzo. So they hit the rush on the Hanzo. They beat engage on the Hanzo. I'm watching this fight again. They beat engage on the Hanzo. They hit the knife and the axe. It's gonna force rally. He's dead. There's a massive anti-nade. Maybe that's something to worry about. They used the Torb ult, but they're all hit by massive anti-nade. I don't know. Suzu's or something. Oh, Seeker just dies. Seeker just gets annihilated. Yeah, Seeker just dies. So I think a lot of things have just been kind of like bad deaths. Like right there, if I'm looking at this, if Seeker's alive, this fight goes very differently, I think, for Outlaws. And it feels like a lot of these deaths or just shouldn't have happened. Like Outlaws are just able to basically like survive long enough. It's kind of disappointing. So again, like we're doing live stuff. We're not going to spend as much time like breaking down every single little bit of micro here, but yeah. Rich Rad, thanks for the sub, man. Hey, Rich. Good to see you, mate. This is Odyssey and Overwatch. Well, I will say this. I think we have been the benefactors of more frequent balance patch changes. And then in addition to that, I think we're also to where, like, in other words, people haven't like quote unquote solved stuff. It's going to be hard to solve stuff with how rapid things have been changing. Even minor stuff, like every couple of weeks something minor changes, right? Like the Moira stuff, right? Definitely had an impact on how things are doing. The sleep dart change definitely had an impact on how things are being approached. But then in addition to that, it's also you know, there's a lot of teams that are kind of embracing the underdog mentality. I think even Eternal, you know, London, a lot of these teams, New York, Washington, trying unorthodox stuff. Valiant, of course. You look at these teams like Gladiators, who are not a budget org, but they have Dante on tank. So, you know, you have these teams that, you know, same thing with like London with Hottie. Like you have these solo tanks, right, that aren't going to be able to play every single meta tank. So you're going to have to kind of find what works for you. So more so than any other season, assuming things stay as they are, rapid balance changes, and nobody signs like these massive rosters, then you're going to probably see more variety, I think. I'm doing really well, mate. Thank you. Good luck. Yeah, and the thing with the goofy comps as well is it's like the Torb is definitely a stranger choice, but even then it's not it's exactly a shock. The Queen is, well, again, I'm going to make a video on the Queen, but the base of the TLDR is just having like I said earlier, it's a self-sufficient tank, able to poke out DPS, and then the Kiriko falling a little bit out of favor has opened up Queen a little bit more as well. Will I do a further analysis in the outgames once VODs become available? So this is what my plan is, y'all. Is I am going to be doing I'm going to be doing a VOD review this Tuesday on stream of a match, excuse me, of your choice from the YouTube VOD. So we won't have replay viewer. I don't know when replay viewers are going to come back, but we'll be doing it over the YouTube VOD. And I'm going to aim for a weekly specific breakdown, I guess would be the way to put it, over a weird composition, a weird map, a weird strategy, or whatever. Like if somebody whips out the Bastion, right? I think somebody did whip out the Bastion earlier. This week, we'll be talking about why people are playing Drunken Queen and Moira and Dive, the overall logic behind it. Next week, it might be why Genji got super, super popular, or what teams are doing with this, or why so-and-so did this rotation here. So you're going to do more specific, an overall once a week full game analysis from the YouTube VOD, and once a week I'm going to do a specific match or composition strategy weird breakdown as well. Has Brig become hard meta after Rally? No, Brig in a lot of ways has gotten worse, actually. The armor pack nerf was really quite big. And then also the movement speed with Rally reduction was also quite big. I think the Rally buff was definitely a net buff overall, especially once they actually bug fix it. But Brig as a whole was not significantly buffed, and in some ways got weaker in the ways that you'd play her in Overwatch League. Don't play Bastion on Arc Peninsula. I think did APAC play Bastion as well? But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. If you guys have any requests for content, for Overwatch League content, you can always throw it in my Discord. There's a content suggestions channel in there as well. You can throw that in there. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do player breakdowns, which is something I was hoping to do. I was also hoping to do something like 5 underrated plays of the week, where I'd be able to use the replay viewer and kind of go in detail about like how did they win that fight, right? And kind of things that aren't as flashy, but that were big contributors towards a team winning a map or a match. But without the replay viewer, that kind of content is a lot harder and a lot less effective. So, you know, screw me, man, but that's how it's going to have to be. I mean, Bastion can work. There are very clear strengths to Bastion. Find it hard to follow games. Yeah, welcome to the club. I think the best way to enjoy Overwatch League is to not try to overly follow strategically breakdown. I mean, a lot of times when I'm just watching Overwatch League for fun, I'm just watching for Overwatch League, man. It's just fun to watch sometimes. I don't try and overanalyze it and break it down. It takes a little bit of too much focus when I just want to turn my brain off and enjoy people clicking heads, you know? So don't worry about it too much. I'm here. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth breakdown, but even what I'm able to do here live is more limited. For Vegas to catch up, or is a rebuild required? It's a good question. I think Vegas can overperform expectations, but there is a very hard ceiling as to how they can get this year. Maybe by the end of the year, if the players are able to develop mechanically, but they are the weakest mechanical team in the league, I would say. So, you know, with the aspects of confidence and team play and macro understanding, they could definitely overperform. But the danger in the league, especially with players that are very, I mean, even really of all ages, but players that are young, is it's very easy to get discouraged and lose confidence and kind of snowball. I mean, this happened with London 2 seasons ago where, you know, London had a very, very tough, unlucky ping start to the season. And there were many games, I would say at least 2 or 3 games over the course of that season, especially in the second half, where I felt, I only worked with them in the second half, where I felt that they could have won if we'd been, it's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect. Okay, so we're back in, y'all. Lifeweaver pedal. He's going to get gripped back into spawn. Nothing. Okay.
Wait, that's cool. I like that. That's cool. He also gets back to spawn.
You know, Dogman's the one that suggested that, actually.
I mean, now we get to see it in fruition.
Dogman's the one. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Dogman saw it elsewhere, but Dogman did suggest that one on stream. I about that. You know, pedal him up, life whip him back to spawn. So there you go. So on a Kiriko, D.Va controlling space, trying to mark their off angles. D.Va's more hero, marking hero, peeling hero than it is a diving hero. And it's also a comfort pick for Crawley as well. Happy gets Translocator destroyed. The Genji is very interesting. I think the Genji has potential. It might be more of a hero strength thing, but I am surprised to see the Genji, to be honest with you guys. I would have expected the Tracer. Genji is really, really good on when there's more high ground maps and more space and such, or more high ground maps and more like verticality, but I don't think there's a lot of that here. It might just be that they want to play for Nanoblade, right? As Ana has kind of come back into favor, as Kiriko has gotten a little bit weaker, it might be that they just want to play for Nanoblade, which with the Ana, at least when the enemy team is on Ana, there is somebody to Nanoblade. Summer Tracer, D.Va, Kiriko, can't really Nanoblade much there, but you can Nanoblade the Ana. Genji's a strange one to me, for sure. Very strange choice for me. It might just be a niche strategy they found working out. I would be shocked if Genji worked as well on second. First, he's not terrible, and he can force out Sombra pretty easily, as you guys saw there. But odd. Missed sleep from Liar. That's a bit unfortunate. Fearless is going to get maximum value. It's a big EMP, but there's no follow-up because the backline got cleared. Nah. The nade gets deflected. It's tough. They do get the sleep on Fearless, finally. There's the hack. There's the dive, the Nano D.Va. It's actually a surprisingly good value from the Nano D.Va. That's usually a tough one to deal with because you can't Matrix and shoot at the same time. So if you're jumping into an Ana, you have to worry a lot about sleep dart, but Crawley does a pretty good job of it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Very winnable, though.
The D.Va making these adjustments, coming back into the point in last second to make sure the Outlaws can't touch. They do have a blade.
Violet is low. That's a defensive nade. They need to clear out Pelican. Pelican's probably going to look for a blade at some point here, but I don't even know what your... Oh. Happy gets marked. Huge. Now Happy's going to be out of commission for a long time. Oh, huge sleep by Liar. There's a defensive bomb that kills Fearless. That's a hilarious. There's your defensive D.Va bomb, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually a really risky move because there's the MP. All things considered, not terribly played by Valiant.
Took him a bit, 30 seconds left on the clock, but they'll capture that first point.
Pelican's so happy that he gets to play Genji. The biggest smile on his
I am
Houston Outlaws are
still surprised at the Genji, and you guys can kind of see it here. Very quiet hero right now.
really understanding the composition.
So the Onyx Kiriko, theoretically, in the Tracer, should really shine on third point, assuming they don't get snowballed, or second point with ultimates, because there's nice, nasty long sight lines. The Tracer's mobility is a lot more valuable. We'll probably see a Nano Monkey here, and I really want to see Seeker into as hard hunting happy. Because oh no, Seeker, how does Seeker die? Because a Nano Monkey shouldn't matter unless the Sombra's there to help. But now the Sombra's there to help, they gotta be really careful. Here comes the Nano. Oh, maybe not. They're looking. Oh, Happy's out, that's why they're waiting. I don't think they're gonna wait for Nano Blade. He's thinking about it. They're just waiting for Happy to set up. He's gonna call for it. There it is, he's on the back line. The Sombra's not there though, so the Nano Monkey doesn't get very high value, as predicted. But they also combo that with Rally. The sleep doesn't work, and then... Oh no, the Nano gets wasted, it's too late.
Pretty clean second phase, although first was rough. Houston Outlaws now have 3 minutes in third point.
Seeker's going to be able to come in with an EMP to
unusual.
try and shut down Pelican's blade, as the Nanobase has been going on to feel.
Should stop the stream and enjoy it in our play session? You're baiting me.
Something like a Zenyatta or Lucio means that you don't need the Nano for that blade to come in with the kills. You don't have to chunk through the extra shielding, as now we're going to see the swap onto the Zenyatta. This is a glass cannon. If you can land the discords, if you can land the volleys, you're going to be able to recover. If you can for transcendence or keep your Zenyatta alive.
I think whatever's happening with Seeker and N2S, they're really struggling to win these DPS duels. They're dying a lot. Which shouldn't be happening to just Pelican, essentially. I would need to see what's happening. Again, it's impossible to see what's happening from the replay viewer. It's a good kill. Pelican should die. He doesn't.
Pelican just continually playing as aggressive as he has been, just wants to hold as many aggressive angles as he can to set up those dashes.
Yeah, he's chased off of that angle though by the Discord of connecting onto the Genji, and
it's good pressure, good kill, good dive.
Have to keep an eye though on Happy, who is in the back line, currently waiting for the EMP to connect onto both these supports.
Trust Lucky's playing as well. Maybe when we're done. We consider casting as a side gate a little bit. I've casted a few like small tournaments back in the day, but nothing super seriously. They need to find Happy's translocator. Happy should not be able to dive.
We don't see that. It's kind of uncommon. Crawley to toss that Diva Bomb back. Ju does connect onto Lyre on the front line. Happy.
So I'm not sure how I feel about the defensive Diva Bomb in just normal dives. I think it would be probably better for him to instead go onto the enemy backline and trade backlines with Diva Bomb as a remech. But obviously it is tougher with Diva. There's the hack, there's the Nano Diva, right. That was good. Crucially though, they didn't use anything in response. You say words very exaggerated, so it's... Oh jeez. That's not good. Okay, so big thing for Lyre. Lyre has to hide. We need to find and punish DPS. We need to find Happy, punish Happy, punish Happy. CJ is fine. Lyre should be playing in Narnia. Lyre should not be accessible by Nano. Lyre should honestly be hiding. Yeah, it's not well played. You know they have Nano Blade? Just let your Zen trance. Go trade backline. Like, Lyre should either be hiding or Lyre should have been hard flanking right side. Going for backline trade. So, I don't know if this is like Houston just trying something, but it feels like a lot of unnecessary DPS deaths from Valiant would be something to consider.
Yeah, a good turnaround from Valiant swapping over to that Zenyatta on point.
Yeah, just shoot me a Discord message, Samara. Shoot me a Discord message with like the link and whatever you got to say, and I'll check it out.
However, Outlaws able to wait for that Nano Blade, and it's Fearless actually who comes in with the gorgeous primal. You don't need to bait the Transcendence early. If your Winston player just gets to juggle this Zenyatta out of
All right.
line of sight of the rest of his players.
Interesting, interesting.
Replay. I mean, if we have it in this situation, I would love to see it because the Houston Outlaws as a whole looked incredibly good. I might have called for that incorrectly. Here we go. We can actually.
Okay, yeah, this is what I want to see. How?
Early from Fearless with the nano boost and
Why is N2S 1 HP? Like,
CJ right after, that's the high sensitivity play.
I think that is more Valiant's problem than anything else.
High sense, and also we get to see
Where just so many deaths, just like, wait, how? Like, why? How did that happen?
It did connect onto Crowley.
like the worst.
More than anything else, and that's the tough ones too, because it's like, well, how do you fix that? Well, just don't die, you know, like don't die to a Genji dash, right? Shouldn't be happening. But yeah.
It's like defibrillators, right? Where you just check
So more of a quote-unquote meta defense from Outlaws with the Sombra Tracer. You're going to see Ana Kiriko pretty frequently on this map, just based off of the fact that you have the longer sightlines, and your Ana is already in a power position, so you don't need as much peel for the brink. And the Kiriko can kind of work. I mean, you've seen Violet Kiriko, right, y'all? Violet working with Pelican on the flank, controlling flanks, all that kind of stuff. What do you mean it shouldn't happen? My point is that a lot of these deaths are just N2S didn't recall, or CJ just was slow to react. It's just a little bit of mechanics. They're just not used. Some of these deaths have felt either mechanical or just slow reaction speed. Not necessarily through like a bad fundamental understanding or execution. It just what they're just not. I don't know if the players are as good. And like this season, more than any other season, that's more often than not going to be an issue with the rosters that we have. Okay, Happy's on the flank. He goes in really hard, actually. Fearless overextends. Yeah, that felt a little bit ambitious. They got skill issued a little bit, I think. Yeah, a little bit. I don't like how both DPS are stacked here. Would like to see Tracer take an angle with the Kiriko as soon as they possibly can. Fast EMP from Happy, though. Definitely not something that they are expecting whatsoever. Oh, Liar's got his nano canceled. Ouch.
Maybe give them a tick, but they cannot find it. And the Houston Outlaws, a phenomenal EMP Happy, got off, reclaimed the point.
It's not just the EMP, it's also when Fearless is out of the fight, Happy comes through with another hack counteracting Crowley.
Oh, let's see this.
On that engagement, as now we get to see, here it is. Wyatt with that nano.
Ah, hack canceled. Ouchies.
By Happy's activation was going to put it onto Nuz, so that Tracer could just
So,
continue to pressure you and Violet on
still
the
winnable.
but it is not the-
Obviously EMP for Nano is pretty sucky when you lose the fight, but still
They've got a rush to be able to
still winnable. Happy's already 40% on the next EMP though. That's a bit of an issue.
Been playing great so far on Ana, now the Los Angeles Valiant have
There's a Nano Monkey. Seeker's in serious trouble.
also gets pressure
I think he lost his translocator. I think Happy destroyed his translocator.
to deal with the
I mean, if you guys didn't see it from the London Justice game,
Los Angeles Valiant now
it is so important in Sombra Tracer duels that you have a Sombra and Tracer that are really intelligent when it comes to managing the resources and being able to play the mental game when it comes to things like translocator placement, setting up good angles. Like, so much of it isn't just diving in. It's like you go in hard with Nano Monkey and your Sombra at the same time destroys their translocator and then winning just through that. Like right there, they just straight up win this fight. Okay, Primal Rage. It's a lot of ults being committed by both sides. We have another Nano though. It's okay, he has a remake.
Now we can use the Diva Bomb. Great job to just use that. Now can remake safely inside unless a hack came through for Happy, but Happy's so close towards that.
It's a good EMP. I mean, it hits just Violet, but you know what? It's fine. Valiant's definitely struggling to control space, though. They need to try and pressure Shu and Haigon. There's a Nano. Nice eat him to sleep. Shu dies. The counter EMP is back again. Great peel from Crawley. Hack on Pelican is big. Gonna force Happy out. Now they just need to keep pressure on Fearless. This should be a first point cap.
To reclaim this point and pick off Pelican with Seeker,
They really need to worry about Happy touching. Happy's the real lethal one here.
looks like they do potentially.
You can burn the monkey soon, but you need to worry about Happy. They find Happy. Happy's out instantly. That means a cap.
The Houston Outlaws just want to build some ultimates
There
in
you
this
go.
situation. Back on out of there.
Playing Winston into Diva.
Continue to build those
Yeah, I mean, it's not a... This is the thing, though, is when you only focus on the 1v1 matchup, Winston definitely gets curb stomped by Diva, but it ain't just the 1v1 matchup. I know we're making fun of YouTube chat here, but it's a good reminder.
Outlaws put themselves out of position in these really aggressive motions coming through from the
Okay.
team trying to control
Happy's already 54% onto another EMP.
So that it significantly impacts the amount of room that Nelson Seeker have to stay away from their supports.
Dive ready to go, shoot with the nano boost, ready to go on Fearless. He's actually kind of poked out. Q has to use the nade to keep him healthy in the situation.
Kari's gonna have another Diva bomb here. I'm curious to see how we're gonna use this here.
Now comes out into Fearless. They can go
There's the manual hack on Liar, followed by kill, easy dive.
Fearless. 2K onto CJ and Liar. That's going to be a fast reset for the Los Angeles Valiant.
Okay. Basically, here's the deal, guys. If you are playing Diva into Winston as a whole, and you are not able to control their DPS, like shoot them, mark them, spy check them better than the monkey comp, you are going to lose, assuming all other factors are equal. Like, Winston is just so good at diving, and Diva is not so good at diving, that if you don't utilize Diva's mobility and spy checking and damage capabilities and massive matrix, you're not going to work. And what's happening too often is Valiant is getting dove. The Sombra's not getting spy checked, the Tracer's not getting marked. So the Diva just can't counter dive like a Winston can. She can, but she doesn't do it as well. It feels like the only fights that Valiant are winning are the ones where they're counter diving, but it shouldn't be like that. Like again, like right here, we have another dive with Winston, Sombra, and Tracer getting on the backline, and that should be another dead backline from Valiant. Oh, CJ's able to sneak out. But like that is something that we have to avoid, right? Because even if you just matrix your backline, that's not consistent and good enough. Fearless is 1 HP. Nice kill. Huge shot. Maybe shoot us. Maybe. The Shu and Violet raid boss. Ah! Will they get Violet? Oh. Yeah. You can kind of see some of the mechanical stuff there. It's not like Valiant are bad players. They're just... Houston is just on another level with Shu and Violet. Those guys lived for so long. Winston is very fun. Yeah, I agree with Moxie here. I think the Nano's gonna be the big thing here. But NYXL versus Valiant is shaping up like? I don't know. I would have to see a little bit more from New York. I haven't seen enough. I think we have a fairly decent read from Valiant after this game. But I haven't seen enough of the games. It's good focus on the front line there. That's a great play from Valiant now. Oh, he doesn't quite get the pulse on Fearless, but Fearless is punished. Oh, they missed the sleep dart as well. That's tragic. I mean, that's it right there, right? It's just a matter of just a couple of shots missed on Fearless, a pulse bomb missed on Fearless, and the guy dies and they win the map. That's a tragic. I mean, Valiant aren't a trash team, y'all. Like, I mean, I think a lot of things that they're trying to do as a team aren't too shabby, right? Who did New York play? Was it Atlanta? Yeah, I didn't see that game, sadly. Let's see here. Let's check this out. So Samara says that there was like a super unlucky play or a super big brain play. I think I'll probably more unlucky from the description, but let's actually check this out. From, was it Shock versus Defiant? Map 2 on Blizzard World, Shock and Attack. Last point, last fight. Proper hit a really good stick. But it looks like it hit Hydron, who then translocated out. Was it unlucky? Ha! Okay, I found it, y'all. So this isn't live stream, so I think I can stream this. But check this out. This is from the nice catch. Check this out. I'll slow it down in a second. Check this out. So Proper goes in. I'm gonna turn the audio down so we can slow it down. Proper goes in for a pulse bomb on UV, but it sticks Hydran, who steps in front, who then translocates out, and then doesn't die from the pulse bomb. Yeah, that was just very, 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 very lucky. But what a cool, that's a good catch. That's a good catch. Valiant, I just think, is mechanically just not the strongest team, and so I guess just has to try and take every advantage that they can. Yeah, nice catch. Nice catch, mate. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's only been a couple of maps. I haven't really studied a lot of their other play, so I won't give you my firm opinion on the Los Angeles Valiant. But from what I'm seeing from the few maps that we've seen, mechanically a little bit far behind, and I think definitely could shore up a little bit on playing to the strengths a wee bit more. But I don't think they're massively underperforming and like strategically sided. Who is the strongest team mechanically at the moment? Oof, I don't know. At least on paper, because here's the other thing you guys have to understand is that mechanics are not static. Like, mechanics change, you know? People get better mechanically over the course of the season, or people get worse mechanically over the course of the season. Or people stagnate, right? And then, you know, other teams get better and worse around them. So, like, if we look at, like, Overwatch League... Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Mayhem. Let's pick a couple of these bigger budgeter teams at random here. I mean, look at somebody that's like a Vigilante, Stalker, Lip, Chio, Fielder, Dongha. Really good mechanically, right? At their respective heroes. Birdring, Striker, Decay, Smurf, Twilight, Izayaki, Li Jaegong. Again, on paper, as of recent times, not maybe super recent times, but in the past, very strong mechanically. Sparkle, Hanbin, I don't know, Edison, no. MCD, probably not as much, at least my current understanding. But again, remember, this is right now. Like, people can get better or worse, right, over the course of the season. It absolutely happens. Mayhem, I would say, you know, you got people like RuPaul and Merit who are very strong, Chorong as well. Checkmate, I mean, Mayhem are fairly strong mechanically as well. Pelican, Fearless, Shu, Happy, Violet, strong mechanically. Gargoyle as well. Kevster, Astro, Lastro, not Dante as much, but Dante when he's on his good heroes. And again, that might change over the course of the season. Babel, Kai. There's a lot of very strong. Again, I think, I don't know, was it Yiska or somebody else said that this season's going to be very top heavy. I think in terms of at least mechanics, I really think that's going to be the case again this year. Finn, Proper, Heesang, Max, Junbin, MN3, talking about APAC, MN3, Zest. I mean, these guys are crazy. APAC has always been more DPS top heavy in terms of their performances. Even teams like UV, Magid, Hydran, you know, Kaluj on certain heroes as well. It's definitely stronger mechanically. Spark, oh yeah, Spark. I'm forgetting Spark, you're right. Spark has at least historically been one of the Gushui, Shy, 20, Leave, Linksa, Monk, yeah. Cheers, KG. Yeah, here's the thing. Whenever I upload something stupid like that to YouTube, I know it's gonna get no views, but I don't care. It was fun. Shy Leave is really quite nice. But here's the thing, though. Is Shy going to be bad this season? Is Leave going to be bad this season? No. But remember, even mechanical capability is not stagnant. It changes. Shy could have been arguably the best mechanical Sojourn at the end of last season. But is that going to mean that he's going to be the best mechanical player this season? Maybe not. Maybe he's lost confidence. Maybe he's not transitioned over as well. Maybe the team environment is not as good, or maybe he's other players have trained harder, or maybe Shy gets into a great team environment and he finds another gear that we haven't even seen yet, and he gets even better, and he becomes easily the GOAT. You don't know. Like, I guess my thing is that just the players. There are no this player is the best, right? it's like, it's why it's even hard to vote for like an MVP, because so much of it changes from like month to month, you know? But yeah. I do think though that it would be hard for Shy to not be a top tier DPS, even if he like, you know, was not even trying that hard or whatever. Like you don't lose that much, you know? So Shy leave, at least right now, have a massive ceiling if things go well compared to other teams. Do you think Dante would be better off playing DPS rather than tank? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it seems like he's all in on the DPS train or the tank train, and no, I don't think so. Okay, looks like we're getting back in here. Because like so many factors go into making decisions like that. You know, Dante going tank. You know, and if Dante enjoys playing tank more than playing DPS, he's going to get to be a better tank than he is a DPS. You know, a lot of times professional decisions, because you want to do something, you get better at something. Because if Dante wants to be a better tank, he will get better at playing tank because he's actually playing tank. Houston, honestly, quite a strange comp. This is essentially an enable Genji composition with the Brig. You have an armor pack on Genji, and it also means that you're not as fragile to Tracer, so that your Brig can spend more time. See, the problem is that if you ran like Bap Zen, you could Harmony Orb Genji, but Genji would have to spend more time marking Tracer than focusing on his own dives. So the Brig is like more self-sufficient, so she can support Genji and also not be demanding resources at the same time. We've got flashing thing at the top of our screen. Valiant's comp is fine. I have no problems here. I think both these comps make total sense. Yeah. I like what the Valiant are doing on the flank here on the left. They're going to try and contest. Paintbrush has to be very careful about overextending though. So yeah, so the thing is with that flank right there, you can't force it. You can't force it. Because to turn that flank on the left side, for the Valiant, you still have to be very cautious about how hard you go in, because it is a 2v2 and they have corner advantage. So it's definitely a play that you should consider trying to make, but it's not a play that you should like necessarily hard commit on. What a Genji diff? I mean, you didn't even see what happened in the 1v1. I mean, I'm sure Pelican is a much better Genji than N2S, but you didn't even see what happened. Genji decent versus snipers because of deflect, right? And also, like, this first point is actually pretty tight, so it's like... So it's like Genji, at least until later in the first point, is very easily able to close the distance on these guys. Nice shot from Seeker on Violet on the left. Oh, he jukes the rock. Pelican in their spawn. Yeah, Pelican is legit trolling, y'all. Pelican is legit trolling. You could even see it on the first point capture. They're not taking this as seriously as maybe they should, but I guess, you know, the results speak for themselves, I guess. He takes that time to get back then too as well. It's a good trade though. Flux for Immo and Rally is fine. I don't know where Paintbrush's rally was. Maybe it got zoned by Dragon. Did anybody see that? I was too busy focusing on the Genji on the flank. Bap window should be coming out any moment now. There it is. Crawley does get his shift off though, so that's fine. Valiant can live this one and then push back in with Dragon as long as nobody gets shot. CJ matches window, but it's really not as well set up, so I'm not as big of a fan of that. The Dragon's set up. Gargoyle is isolated. They need to force his shift. They don't force his shift. There's the shift. And then now there's the rock, and then there you go. So the shift is really important because it's what keeps the Sigma from shooting. As simple as that. But also means that any pressure afterwards, the Sigma's completely isolated and can't like zone backline. In other words, you could have N2S trying to play backline after you force Sigma shift while everybody else is focusing tank line, and Gargoyle can't like just pop shift and survive. Yeah, he's gonna die. Yeah, I know you can't see the screen. Hey, cheers, Lily. So you won't be able to watch the stream. I'm not allowed to stream. No streamer on Twitch is allowed to stream it on Twitch. So you can check out the YouTube Overwatch League and follow the live stream. I have the little time thing showing there, so you guys can always check where I'm at on the VOD. Nice little push by Valiant, though. We theoretically should be able to counter this Flux with Rally. That's good. Rally is probably fine there. We need some pressure. Paintbrush needs to be careful, though. They need to really find the Genji behind. Oh, yeah, Crawley gets isolated. So, You can't just pop rally and try to walk through a choke into the enemy team. That's not going to work unless you have another off-angle pincer, which Valiant didn't. They could have used that time to clear Pelican from behind. They didn't do that either. And then Crawley gets pushed, and then the split by Dragon. And Dragon is actually exceptional at denying enemy pushes. It's about the only thing it can do, besides maybe isolate the Sigma. But yeah, it was good ult used by Houston. Uh-oh. Rip. Okay, perfect.
Nice shot from Happy to pick off Seeker, and that's what happens in these fights. I mean, there's just random pick-offs from the Hanzos. Now Crawley then comes through the top, already throws that rock out, but without that Hanzo pressure from Seeker, they're going to be waiting for him to come back to spawn. Does Pelican want to get those stagger kills? He's deciding between going with his team on the front line.
They need to watch out. Seeker is killable if they find him. He doesn't. He rotates within. Pelican is killable here. It's going to force a dash and deflect. Maybe we see a flux in response. They don't. CJ gets sucked out of the corner.
In time for that gravitic flux to find maximum value. Great work from the Houston Outlaws to find that. And now there's the minute and 30 seconds left for the Los Angeles Valiant in the streets phase.
And Pelican gets all of those kills without expending the blade. It's all off of shurikens and dash resets.
Okay, here comes the spawn camp, which is honestly not even that bad of a thing to do, because you can, if you lose the fight, you get a really clean recontest on second.
In this situation, maybe they'll get poked up by Gorgo. Gorgo is literally using the cover of the spawn door. So Los Angeles
We'll probably see a BAP window pretty soon here. Actually, maybe a blade here, given how close they are. It's more likely to be a blade, actually, more than anything else. Oh, they lift the window. Oh, he gets rocked. Crawler gets rocked. That's tragic. Breaks the lamp. Now we go in. Oh, ego! Pelican's got so much ego, man. This guy's egoing so hard. They need to kill the VAP here, not the Sigma. You notice just like how good Houston is at setting up off-angles, right? They do such a good job at controlling space and controlling angles and controlling high grounds and controlling flanks. And Valiant just struggles. Like, they don't prioritize the same thing. Even think about the rally, compare Paintbrush's rally attempt on attack. Now, it is a lot harder to do that on defense. Or on attack, because you don't have the off-angle setup, but Valiant are really struggling with all these like pincers. Like, you've got Shu on an angle, Pelican on an angle, and Happy on an angle. They don't know exactly how to play around that. This rally is just going to be for sustain. It's going to get Dragon or Flux, and that's going to be it. Oh, that's a big kill. Roll the dice. They need to go for this Hanzo.
Incoming gravitic flux forces the Los Angeles Valiant into the air, but this time the immortality field has enough health to keep them healthy. At the same time, Gargoyle has used the rock to pressure out the front line. Now the Dragon Strike comes for Happy, so Nos's blade has to...
tragic yet.
Does he find the kill? No, he doesn't. He
Not a good blade.
Violet, and unfortunately for the Valiant, they require
And that's going to be it.
a little bit more value out of that blade. Pelican connects
I'll never understand Brigand Havana, but I guess it's a dive mirror. I mean, it's more to have, again, as I said, if you go BAP Zen, you do expose yourself more to Tracer stuff. You expose yourself more, and it honestly looks like Pelican wants to play Genji, so they're playing, like I said earlier, they play Brig just so that they could have somebody who could pocket Genji and somebody who doesn't have to be worrying about Tracer. And Valiant, I think it honestly is because they just don't have a good Tracer player. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I think that's probably it. Hey, cheers, Fallen. Thank you for the kind words. If I miss any of your questions, y'all, just let me know, because I'm trying to catch up. Sometimes I'm like watching here and I might miss a question. What do you do when they have a bunch of angles on you? You have to fight for the angles. You can't just run it out. You know, you have to fight for a way to control off angles, fight for the way to control space. You know, get your Genji on a flank with a Brig pocket. Commit your ultimates to try and control an angle or a flank. Into S plays Tracer. Okay. I mean, you wouldn't want to play the Tracer as much, but yeah. Let's see this replay here. He destroyed the lamp.
Valiant's order has been entirely disrupted. They don't have a cohesive unit. Paintbrush isn't able to find a break back flail to push Pelican back, and he just gets to use those dash resets, and the members of Valiant stepping stones that one by one Pelican crushes.
I like the Widow on defense. It's a good spot because you can set your Widow up on like any angle you want. Whereas the Widow on attack is a lot more limited until you turn the corner.
kills, and now for the Los Angeles Valiant, they're relying heavily.
This guy's straight up looking through the rocks.
Opening blows.
Or the,
Do get that space to push up forward. See if the Outlaws decide to go aggressive at this angle.
I mean, they have the means to. Again, Happy is on.
It's interesting that we don't have the Brig Genji split on the right side. It might be that Valiant are playing for the back left hold. It's a big kill in Violet. So what I was saying is earlier you saw the Brig Genji playing together with Houston on the holding the choke, but because they're not doing that here, and I think it might just be because that they're playing the Widowmaker, so that they're not really playing to hold that choke. They're kind of giving it more space. Yeah, it's just... I don't even know who died. Because Violet died, and then somehow somebody else died, and yeah. Do I do coaching fun? Do I find coaching fun? Yes. I mean, it's work, you know. Work is work. Making your passion your job is definitely sometimes can make your passion a job is making your passion a job. But it's enjoyable work. I enjoy it. It's something that I apply myself to, and I like doing. So there's definitely days where I'm like, ugh, you know. Everybody's like that with everything you do, you know. It's a responsibility, but I do like it. That's how you use ultimates, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't get a single kill, but forces a massive split that sets up a kill elsewhere. Or it would have if Seeker just didn't blow somebody's head off. Ah, it doesn't matter. Easy fight win. Good fight win for Valiant. Kind of expensive, but, you know.
Where's the peel for the blade now? They used Ant, they used Rally. Pelican is going to have a blade, and Gargoyle is going to immediately be able to soften the members of Valiant up.
What can I do if I have a loss streak? Understand that it happens. It happens literally to the worst of us. Everybody has loss streaks. Don't worry about it. Take a break. Take a short break. Q next. Focus on what you need to be doing better. Don't worry about it. Everybody has loss streaks. Every person that I have ever worked with or coach has had at least a 6 or 7 game loss streak, sometimes more. Ah, Gargoyle got greedy. Crawley still have shift. Yes, we're good to go. There's the blade. Ah, it's just a good blade mechanically, mate. I don't really like the dragon that much. I feel like dragon is something that you can't use that late, because if stuff is already devolved, it's not going to work as well, and that's going to be it.
If Nos dies here, I mean, it's all over for the Los Angeles Valiant, but he does escape with his life, and they have that gravitic flux and Genji blade.
They're going to try and take an early fight here, maybe Houston, but Valiant could just walk out with blade, theoretically. It's going to be unhappy to hit a shot here, I think.
Out of the way as a blade comes through from Nos, they have to find the kills, they have to find the value. As Outlaws just back up, they know even if they
so that's unfortunate. They need to push. They need to push with Flux here. They can't sit here with this Lucio Brig comp. They need to find a way to get onto Happy. Need to close the distance. She's going to window. Oh. So actually pretty big boop from CJ, but Happy hits a shot. Woo! Ah, that's tough. Ah, good try by Valiant. Good try by Valiant.
The Houston Outlaws, fantastic work for them. 3-0.
Rip. Even top players go 0-7. That's right. What do you think of the ring system? I don't think ring system is not okay. So here, from what we know of the ring system. The ring system is only inflated because of the more newer players that we have. So that there's a lot of more players, like the level of play in Grandmaster is lower, the level of play of Masters is lower, and gold and lower, and bronze is lower, and silver and lower, because there are more newer players who are new to Overwatch since Overwatch 2. So that's why ranks are inflated. I disagree beyond that, though. Hello, Boba. Makes climbing feel not very rewarding. I mean, that's just something you have to accept. If you're an old guard in Overwatch 1, or you have a good like learning mentality in Overwatch 2, you're gonna climb at least a rank higher than Overwatch 1. That's just how it's going to be. Like Overwatch 1 was the same players playing against each other over and over and over again for years, with not as much new blood. And so I watched it over years as players in gold got better and better and better. Because remember, gold doesn't mean that you're bad at the game. It means you're barely average or a little bit below average. But But if you don't get new players that are really bad, then even the bad players get better, right? I remember the bronze players in like at the end of Overwatch 1 were like as good as silver players in Overwatch 2. What do I main? I don't really main anything. I coach everything, so I end up playing a little bit of everything. When I played the game seriously, it was Zenyatta, Ana, and those are still probably my favorite heroes. But recently, it's been more about playing like off-meta stuff to try and like learn some of the more niche stuff a little bit better. Like been playing a little bit of Mei, a little bit of Sigma, a little bit of Brig. I played obviously a lot of Life Weaver recently to try and figure out any nuances and stuff with him. But yeah, agreed. The crazing. And 2023 gold is way different from 2021 gold. So Valiant gave a good shove. I don't think Valiant definitely struggled a little bit more with controlling of angles because that's my spiel, and mechanically there was a little bit of a gap there, but wasn't horrible. I didn't really strongly hate any of the Valiant's comps, but yeah. You see many streamers complain. You had me at I see many streamers complain. I agree with you. I think that there are overall more players in Grandmaster that are not Grandmaster level because of the way ranks have been inflated, but that they're still in the top 1%. So that's just how it is. Like it's just how it is. And you can't tell the difference between GM1 games and my plat games from previous seasons. Well, that is respectfully a little bit silly. I can very easily tell the difference between Grandmaster 1 gameplay and flat gameplay. So maybe it's just a you thing. Overwatch 2 is just an easier game, simple? No, it's not. There's nothing about it's a competitive player versus player game. There's no way for it to be an easier game unless, I guess, easier heroes are meta, and it's noob trapping people to play Genji so that you can raffle stomp them, which is not really the case. So it's an easier game because the player base is not as good as it used to be because there's a newer form of player base, but that's it. A lot of it, and that's the only way that makes sense. Do you feel like devs should add more rank divisions, especially at the top? No, because from what we know, GM is still less than 1% of players. So that's how it was in Overwatch 1 and still how it is in Overwatch 2. If you divided the ranks even further, it would just be a new shiny thing. It wouldn't change anything. Would you say it's more mechanics are more important in Overwatch 2 than Overwatch 1? No, I wouldn't say so, because I think things like map control was not as important in Overwatch 1 because the addition of a tank allowed for more like 6-man grouping up and through that. So I think if anything, it's definitely more mechanically challenging, yes, but it's like mechanics are easier to carry with, but also I think like it's just as easy to carry with like understanding flanks and angles. Can't they solve the issue by adding another rank? No, because again, you have 1% of players that make Grandmaster currently, and then top 500 is a smaller percentage of that. Adding another rank wouldn't solve the issue. There's proportionately just as many Grandmaster players in Overwatch 2 as there are in Overwatch 1. Valorant quite recently added another rank? Interesting. Bum 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 bum. How do I play Junker Queen Rush? Spam, shoot. I mean, into what specifically? Who's Haiku? I'm not sure who Haiku is. They want to look at rank more as a factor of absolute instead of relative skill, but yeah, but that's just not possible in a PvP game. It's not possible unless you're playing like because player skill is always going to be relative, right? I would say I'm master. I just OTP'd May for fun, and I hit Masters 4 pretty easily on May. I would say compared to my performance in Overwatch 1, I would say probably the equivalent of around Diamond 2, somewhere like that. So my rank is inflated compared to Overwatch 1, but there are more players that I am better at percentage-wise, so that's just how it works. Genji OTP? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, there are some ranked players that are OWL level mechanically. The problem is that a lot of those players are OTPs, which is always pretty hit or miss with how it goes into competitive play. Bronze 5 being a range of 500 star versus 100 star for the rest feels kind of bad though. That's true, that's true. Valorant versus Outlaws. Maybe a new rank below bronze? Yeah. Maybe. Are there any OTPs in OWL? We had that question earlier. There have been some OTPs in OWL that were like really next level, but they were usually either at very, very meta heroes or very, very good heroes like Tracer that are just almost always good. So a little bit of both. What's going on, chat? What do we got here?
What's the general consensus of the opening week?
Oh, they're talking to the casters. Venom. Yeah, we talked about Venom. Fearless basically an OTP? Not really. Can we do that betting thing in one of the matches? That was fun. Yeah, we can do that. There was a ball OTP in OWL a while back as well. I don't think he got any playtime though. He wasn't an OTP. His Genji was his strongest hero, but he wasn't an OTP. Not even Emming. There was another OTP because I don't even think Emming was technically an OTP. Shax is the closest to having an OTP, yeah, but Tracer is like one of the exceptions to the OTP rule usually.
Okay, Jake's gonna be super happy. I said it during Pro-Am, I'm saying it now. Houston Outlaws just look absolutely unstoppable.
Why are we propping up Jake? Jake's ego is inflating to this.
Everyone in goats, I guess. Yeah, pretty much. Emming main ball because Hunter played Ryan kind of. I mean, OTP is a very, like, flexible definition. But my point is that if you are going to OTP in OWL, you have to be absurdly good, / the hero has to be something that your team wants to play. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If Discord was reworked into a 5-second cooldown that applied the Discord debuff to your leg self, needed damage, would that kill Zen? The problem with Discord is that we have to find a way to make it work fluidly, as fluid as it is now. If you're talking like reworks or fundamental imbalance, you would need a way to make it work as fluid as it is now. So maybe something like a 2-second internal cooldown, a 3-second internal cooldown, or something like that. But it just keep it fluid as it is now. Do you think Genji should be buffed? He gets pro play and his win rate is good. He gets pro play in very, very specific circumstances and very specific reasons. And honestly, Houston was forcing Genji there, I think was a little bit of a disrespect and just thought that they could. Genji on Blizzard World is just not the play. At right now, it's not the play. I promise a lot of money that they would not have played it on Blizzard World if it wasn't the fact that they're playing the Valiant. And Pelican is one of the best Genjis in the entire world. He's as close to a specialist as there possibly is. So yes, I think Genji should be buffed. I have some specific thoughts on that if you guys are interested, but yeah.
That's all we need. That's all we need for the Houston matches so far. So, you know, it's
super funny, right? Super S tier humor. I think Genji, the ability to damage boost Blade should be nerfed or reduced or even entirely removed. I think once you do that, you should have the freedom to buff Blade back to 120 damage. You should increase the Shuriken, you should increase the ammo. It shouldn't be 24 ammo, it should be back to 27 or 30. And you could even then at that point in time consider buffing Shuriken damage slightly. Alright, what do we got, Johnny?
Reinforce, informing the viewers what's going on.
All right, Reinforce, what do you got?
We're gonna take a look at the Houston Outlaws here and what they're really emphasizing on and what they're doing well in some of these fights is giving them a small advantage. So we're right here on Blizzard World. It's a point A defense here for the Houston Outlaws, and they're playing this Sombra Tracer composition. Crucially, what I'm gonna talk about as well is Violet on this Kiriko. He's gonna have a lot of impact. Now, the LA Valiant, they're sort of like mirroring this composition as well. They're playing Sombra Tracer, and what I want you to keep in mind here is they're not playing a sniper. They're not killing like a one-shot kill kind of character like Cassidy, for example. And so there's actually quite sustained damage, which means that Happy on this Sombra, he's gonna have a field day when it comes to building this EMP, because there's no immediate threat of him just dying out of nowhere.
He's not gonna get his translocator force or get his head blown off. You can kind of play him like Sombra 76.
Zuzu ability if you want to make sure that Happy stays alive if he is endangered right here. So we can just play this out for now, and we can just see how Violet is sort of staying with Happy on the Sombra, keeping him alive, and slowly but surely Happy is going to continue to build this EMP really quickly. I mean, we're 30 seconds in, he has 30%. And as this sort of progresses towards this first fight, we're going to get to an overhead perspective right here, and the fight hasn't even started, but if we pause right around when this camera flips right here, we can see that the Houston Outlaws, they're already taking a fight here. Fearless has obviously gone in already, but they're contesting here before we've even reached the point, right? There's no dive target here on the side of the LA Valiant, so they're kind of just taking a fight just for the sake of taking a fight. Now, if we look
my only thing is that Fearless goes in too hard, I think.
Actually standing up here.
Nice off angle.
This line of sight over the LA Valiant. So, as you can see
nice
already,
vision cone we got going on here.
Into the fight, and Happy has already built 75% ult charge into this EMP, and because you're taking this fight before they're contesting the point, you have one more fight. So we can play this out, and while Fearless is going to go down here, you're one man down, Happy has built this EMP so quickly that by the time the Valiant get to the point, Happy already has it. And the LA Valiant, they are not ready for this.
This is why I was wanting. Obviously, you could punish Winston there like you did, but you have to be really careful.
Here's Liar losing his nano because of this EMP, right? Extra fields.
So I mean, that's why you have to be so careful about focusing so heavily on the tank punish, right? It's like Happy is sitting on the high ground there. You have a Diva, you have a Tracer, you have a Sombra of your own. You need to try and set up to deny and clear that guy first, right? Like, obviously the Fearless punish is there, but clear space first. Do your homework first. Let me go back and check up on chat. What else do we got here? Yeah, it's the damage boost on Genji that's making him stay weak, right? The problem with Genji is that because Nano Blade, and even like to a lesser extent stuff like Valk Blade and so on, is too strong and almost uncounterable in a lot of circumstances, it's too easy to execute on that, and it's too hard to play Genji in the neutral. And that also means that Naked Blade is still weak. But yeah. I would not touch anything about Genji besides number tweaks like that, though, because I think his dash, deflect, wall climb, everything about his design is perfect. So I would not do anything to him. He does not need a fundamental rework at all. I'd literally rather have him be remain a weak hero than to do anything crazy fundamentally rework. How do you play Diva Dive compared to Winston Dive? You hard mark their DPS, like you hard hunt Winston or Sombra and Tracer, and you can also mark them Winston as well. But like, you need, like, you can peel dives, but it's better to like proactively prevent the dive in the first place, because Winston is better at going on your backline than you are going on his backline, but you are better at controlling his DPS. Like, Winston isn't very good at diving a Sombra or diving a Tracer or fighting a Winston in a trade, right? Diva is very good at that. That was a good little segment by Reinforce, by the way. I enjoyed that. Yeah, sure. I mean, I still have, I think Genji's my second most played hero ever. It's a really fun hero, but it's everything's like, oh, I have Nano Blade. And honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, Nano Blade is easy. Like, there's a really high ceiling with Nano Blade. Like, you can get, like, do crazy clips, right? But like, you don't even need to be that good at Nano Blade or Genji to get value to Nano Blade. And it's so hard to counter, right? It is two ultimates, but there are a few ultimate combos in the game that are uncounterable as Nano Blade. And so because of that, it's like, even in Overwatch League, I'm telling you guys, I've played versus Ana Genji comps in Overwatch League, and it's very hard, even in Overwatch League. These guys are pros, like pro Anas, sleep darts, and all that kind of stuff, and it's hard to counter Nano Blade, y'all. And because of that, like if it feels like that artificially keeps, and because it's like that's also like low ranks can do really well, it keeps Genji in this weird state where like if you have an Ana, it feels like really hard to play versus him when he has ult, but then in his neutrals he's still just so bad, you know? What is the thing that Diamond Doomfist needs to learn? I think a good skill for any tank is just to always be aware of where your team is positioned. If you can practice always checking where your team is positioned before the fight, that way when you go in with a dive, they might not be able to follow up on the target that you're going on, but they can follow up at least on the space that you're creating. That's just a good general rule for dive tanks. Wall climb has felt buggy in Overwatch 2. I agree with that. They need to fix some of his glitches too. I just want to feel good as it could. I'm trying to think, what are some glitches with Genji? Deflect stuff is always kind of goofy, but I think that's more related to ping than anything else. I think the wall climb glitches are definitely frustrating. And dash can function weirdly. I assume that's what you're referring to. Yeah. But the problem with BAP MO is like you can go right through BAP MO with Nanoblade and kill the BAP easily. And if you're good with like halfway decent with Nanoblade, even Trance doesn't counter it because you can still one-shot people through it. So it's like if you have your slash dash, it's like, ugh. Yikes, that's true. Hey, Lucky. Yeah, I would agree. Any sort of bug fixes would be really nice. Oh. I don't think it's wall glitch space more that the collision on the wall is more complex. Yeah. I don't know if it's like just because I was paying attention to it, but when I transitioned back to when I was playing some Genji in Overwatch 2, I felt like I was messing up my wall climb way more than I ever did in Overwatch 1. So I don't know if that's just like I was paying attention to it or not. I honestly don't know, but I would be curious. They're difficult on Lucio as well. Yeah. All right, Boston and New York. Let's put it this way. This is going to be an interesting match. New York definitely has a roster that has some pretty strong players on it. I think that you could definitely argue that New York has like a higher mechanical ceiling than somebody like a Vegas or Valiant right now. It's going to be seen about like, are they going to be able to put those pieces together? Because obviously, yeah, that's always a real question. There's so much more than mechanics when it comes to Overwatch. Boston though, yeah, but Boston's like the opposite. Boston's like the ones that have apparently been having like teamwork, synergy, mental issues potentially as well. So, you think nerfing to any damage boost Blade would get beneficial? Yeah, no. I think making Blade certainly 120 again, and then finding some way to nerf damage boost on Blade. Like even by like 50% or something, like to make it nano, like it would just be really good. And then finding ways to like revert. I think the ammo nerf feels horrible. I feel like he probably deserves like another couple of damage points on his shurikens, and then just going from there. That would be very, I think, reasonable. But you need to be very careful about how you buff Genji. Because I remember even when Overwatch 2 started and everyone was playing Genji, it wasn't the neutrals that were bad. Like, Genji winning duels is, like, fair. But then Genji also wins duels, and then he also had Nanoblade, like, every other fight, and it's just like, nah. That being said, I would still rather have a Genji meta over just about every other DPS. He's a pretty fair DPS. He just needs to be a slightly harder to play, which means you might need to attack his Nanoblade, because that's the easiest part about him. You need honest heroes meta, and Genji is a very honest hero. He's just not quite as honest as other heroes. But if you nerf Nanoblade, then he's a really honest hero. Will you make a full video on the state of Genji's kit and how he balanced properly? Well, here's the thing is I have a full video on Blizzard's balance thoughts on Genji. On just Blizzard balancing in general. It's going to be going live like either tomorrow or whatever. It's pretty soon. So Genji's like the first thing I talk about. I did it on stream, I think, was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. So yes and no. The stream is live, the video is not. So which heroes aren't honest? There's a lot of heroes that aren't honest, in my opinion. So what I mean by honest heroes is the amount of effort that you put into the hero is the amount of reward that you get. And there's like a lot of, I guess while we're waiting, we can talk about it here. Let me pull up Overwatch heroes. The general rule for Overwatch is, as bad as it can be sometimes, is that every hero has more of a skill ceiling than you think. even a hero like Moira is not like as much. There are a lot of nuances with Moira that like separate top 500 Moiras from like other Moiras, but there are some. Not all heroes are created alike, right? Hero like Bastion, not an honest hero, right? Not a very good hero, but not an honest hero. Too easy, not enough effort required for the reward that he gets. Too top heavy with how he performs in lower ranks, or bottom heavy, I guess would be the way. Cassidy, aspects of Cassidy, not honest. I think aspects of even Hanzo are not as honest. The amount of counterplay for that he has provided, not as good. Obviously, Junkrat's not an honest hero. You know, it's not that he's skill list. It's just he doesn't need as much skill to get the same result as other heroes. Now, because his ceiling his value ceiling is lower, there's only so good that you can get in Rat. That's why you don't see him played in Overwatch League. Because even if you're a really good Junkrat, a good Tracer is still going to outvalue you, right? But still, it doesn't justify some of the value that he can get. Same thing goes with Mercy. Again, she has a pretty low value ceiling because she can only be as good as she can. Moira obviously is a good example. To a lesser extent, Reaper, obviously Roadhog, very, very little nuance with this hero as a whole. Torbjorn, a lot of things like that. This is why people get frustrated. Zenyatta, who's generally a very honest hero because he's a very, very high skill hero. But the one aspect that people don't like is how easy it is to apply Discord, and there's no punishment for misapplying a Discord because it has 0 cooldown. So even with a very honest hero like Zenyatta, the aspect that people don't like is the aspect that isn't particularly skillful to use. Game started? All right, thank you. But that's a very nuanced discussion, which honestly is for a better time. Hydrate, thank you.
I absolutely agree.
Effort, result, rewarding reward. Yes, exactly, genuine. You need. It's okay to have like noob-friendly heroes, but those noob-friendly heroes should never be strong. Or you need to make those noob-friendly heroes harder to play, so that you get, like, for example, what if Junkrat wasn't such an easy hero to play, was actually tricky, and was also stronger? You know, so you could actually play Junkrat in Overwatch League, right? But you couldn't make him, like, same thing with Moira. Like, Moira's like a hero that's been weak off and on for a while, but she deserves to be weak because she's too easy to play, right? If she's a little bit trickier to play, it'd be more rewarding. And what's really bad is when you have heroes that are easier to play and are really strong in higher ranks. That's when you have a real problem. Uh-oh, Psycho gets picked off. Big nade. So I like what New York was doing there in theory, taking good off angles. Obviously, it meant that your core was kind of choked out on main. I don't know where Lep was positioned, but I actually think that Lep can actually go to point with a flanker there. But Psycho died, so I'm not sure exactly what happened here. All the best laid plans, you know? Like, sometimes it's just like, you can have a good setup, but if you mess up mechanically, somebody dies, it messes up. I agree, Asteroid, I agree. I think Discord is like the new hated thing, and it's not that. I think it is a little bit over-exaggerated in terms of its crucial, like its impact, but yeah. Like right now, I don't think Lep really needs to play with Creative here, because Creative doesn't need speed boost. If Ryan pins on him, he's just going to sleep him off. And there's not even a Mei necessarily to run down, or a Tracer to run him down, so... Really, truly, Lep should be trying to go to point with Psycho or Fitz and try to, like, off-angle duel like Striker or Decay. Yeah, exactly, Varashi. So it's like, the thing is that the community finds always something to whine about, but oftentimes they are accurate, but they're sometimes a little too over-exaggerated. Like, Discord is probably something that needs to be looked at, but it's always not as serious as people are making it out to be. It's like the general rule. That's a big EMP. Huge kill. Now, with Striker on Sombra... Oh, Lep should have been shattered. Because that's going to stop Kellen from dying there if Lep doesn't get shattered. So, with Striker on Sombra, now you might have to have Lep play a little bit more with Creative, because there's an actual danger of your Ryan and their Sombra going for Creative on Ana. But the first fights was not really necessary for that to happen. Uh-oh. Fitz must have destroyed Translocator on Striker. I'm telling you guys, I mean, like, especially when you see these Sombra and Tracer matchups, so much of what goes wrong happens off screen. Like, you don't even know. Like, right there, that's forcing recall and decay without actually forcing any resources. They just win the fight off of that. They destroy Translocator, they focus Tracer, that's it. GG's. Terrible nano. Callan should never die to that. Aw, Callan. And by terrible nano, I didn't mean the nano itself was terrible, but in terms of, like, theoretical value, you can't make that jump, Fitz. In terms of the effective value of that nano should have been terrible, but it wasn't. So, you know. Yeah, Fitz tries to make the jump, but that ain't gonna work, Chief. You notice that Boston goes Sombra Tracer. Now, what is Reinhardt doing on a Sombra Tracer comp? Reinhardt is doing exactly what Winston is doing. He's zoning backline. He's zoning backline. Striker punched his death so hard that the camera flipped up in the sky. Oh, they found Striker. That's a pretty good value of a dive there. That's going to enable them to go straight to point. Oh, Kellen gets the EMP, or the Primal off. They get Nano Primal, but it gets slept, but only a 3-second sleep dart into C9! No! That was such a winnable fight! No! Disaster. And the face cam just shows up. Ah! Crap, man.
Oh my goodness.
Tell that to an Overwatch one day and he'll laugh for days.
Moving swiftly forward.
Oh yeah.
Control center now. I gotta see a replay of this.
So again, you see the there's Lep on the flank. I actually.
Lep is on the other side of the map.
Oh, Joseph. Should know better than that. Tragic. All right, Reinmir, are we going to stay Symmetra? Yes. They're going to win the first fight for choke. They do force Ice Block. That's pretty big. Now the question is Decay going to be able to take a good enough angle for it to matter? He might go co-side. Yep, there it is. So you're not going to win White Room into the Symmetra men. Not going to happen. Especially when they roll out first because they used the TP and kept the Symmetra. But will you be able to outvalue the Sojourn on point? Point unlocks. Decay does not hit his rail. That's crucial. We should see New York win the fight now just from not getting good value out of the rail. Walls are traded equally. They win the point. If they can keep the pressure up on Smurf, and they do, there's the lamp. Decay is on the flank, though. I don't know what's happening on the flank. They do build the back window first, and there he hits it on the flank. There it is. Oh, nice. Oh! Smurf hits the pin, though.
As Lep goes down, the sustainability won't be there for the Excelsior to uprising now or just clearing the point after they trade that out for
winnable. They are going to be able to keep Kellen up. There's a swinger on the BAP, though. Does he have Lamp? He does not. He might die. There's the Blizzard in response. Psycho is a pretty darn good May. Can Kellen get Shatter? That would be... Oh, it's a huge Sim wall. Huge Sim wall. Even with the death there, theoretically... Oh, they don't have Lamp. Ah! Okay, disaster. Okay, because that was committing Sim wall, which is arguably the most powerful ultimate outside of maybe Blizzard in this entire thing. And it committed both Blizzard and Maywall, and they lost. So, I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I have to look at it more carefully. But, okay, they swapped a... Uh-oh. Striker on the flank. He could just chuck it there, Maywall right now. Maywall. Weird. Not a good Maywall from Striker at all. Horrible Maywall from Striker. So you need to pop your Blizzard and Maywall the Rhine so that he doesn't pin out. Striker just Maywalled in the air. If you just pop your ult instantly on the May, the Rhine pins out, the May ice blocks, and then there you go. But if you wall the Rhine dies, and then you can focus the May afterwards. That was horrible from Striker. That was terrible. Nice kite by New York, though. That was an unlosable fight for Boston, and they just lost it. So, crazy. BAP window will probably... New York might lose point here unless they go for an aggressive shatter play, which they are going to. It's a really nice rotation, by the way. Really nice rotation. So, okay, so let's talk about this. I'm going to wait for this fight to play out. So basically the TLDR is that with BAP window and overclock from Decay and Izayaki, New York couldn't really fight around point without just dying to spam. So what they did is they went for an aggressive brawl play. They aggressive rotate onto the backline, where the BAP window, you can't use BAP window in that circumstance when they're walking on top of you. And Sojourn Ult is also weaker, and there was a better opportunity to hit a Shatter. That was a great fight plan from New York. Very good fight plan. And then now they can do whatever they want. They could mirror BAP window. They could poke with their Sojourn Ult. They can also just yeet the BAP, don't die, and that's gonna win the fight right there. Yeah, I mean, New York just completely wiped the floor with them. They should not have even lost really any of the fights, honestly. Boston just got smoked. Ult plans, execution, everything. All right, well, let's see what happens here. So dive is kind of weird in this map if we see a dive mirror, because if one team goes to point, it means that the flanker has to rotate on coast side, which is actually pretty easy to scout, so we'll see. Yeah, New York just completely dominated here. Dive mirror. Probably both teams going Tracer here. So let's see. Are they going to fight for Mega Hack? Fitz gets the Mega Hack. They don't even go for the Mega Hack. Kellen gets hacked himself. There's a huge anti on Smurf. Smurf is literally 1 HP. That's going to allow them to choke them out of a lot of space. Cooldowns are traded, but now New York has this side. And point control isn't necessarily an advantage on this point. Oh, I thought that sleep was going to hit. Because point is like kind of like wide open. There's not a lot of cover in point, so going point in some compositions is like not that much of an advantage at all. That's another good nade. There you go. And also think about it from the Lucius perspective, like where if your Lucio can read it, Lucio like Lep was there. Okay, Kellen's out. You can actually get better boops in the backline out in the coast. Your frames away from this being 1-0 New York right now. Yeah. Kind of a weird bubble from Kellen. I'm not sure what was happening there, but it does force locator, so I don't think they're gonna get punished there necessarily. Maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, he got punished. That was super weird from Kellen. I don't know what the plan was there. The nade does miraculously hits Li Gong, so that means he has to peace out, which exposes Izayaki. Psychos gets the nano. The pulse doesn't hit, but they get the kill. I don't know what Kellen was doing there with the bubble. Like, it's really weird. Disengage, 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 disengage. There's the counter EMP. Yeah, it's not even bad from New York because you just got EMP and beat, but really should not even been in that circumstances in the first place. Kellen should have been able to clean that up. Okay, so Boston's a little bit of a tricky spot. We might see Nano Primal on creative, so it's going to be really up to creative to be able to hit a sleep dart just to buy a little bit of time. Fitz is still really slow in the EMP right now as well.
Maybe the hope was still there had they gotten another pick and then tried to invest those ultimates. But
that's just basically scouting for Smurf to set up his Nano Primal. Fitz looks like he gets slept or hacked, maybe. Because I see Fitz get naded and Fitz dies, which is weird. We need any POV, man. No replay viewer, man. Oh, Striker's out. He tries to go for the Ana hack. There's a nano. Blep might need to beat this depending on how this next engage goes. He needs to beat it. He needs to beat it. There it is. The primal's still there though, but that's okay because theoretically creative should have sleep dart again. We'll buy him a little bit of time. There's a flip. Wow, that's bad. Nice rotation from New York, all things considered. They solo EMP Smurf. Oh, yes! Very good. Totally fine with solo EMP. I don't know how creative dies. That's really unfortunate. But we love to see that. Li Gong is kind of doing a little bit of trolling there. No, maybe not. Oh, no, Kellen picks... Oh, Bible! Okay, he gets it. I'm pulling for New York, y'all. I want New York to win this so bad. Come on. He's gonna die, surely. Nope, the peel's there. Kellen needs to get out. He dies, a little bit of overextension. Yeah, that's tough. So Decay is gonna point pressure. They're gonna be able to win point pressure pretty easily because no monkey. The nano trade, they go for the nano tracer, and Izayaki just dies. Wow. This is still pretty big. Like, you know, like this could be a lot messier than it has any right to being. They just need to not give up point if they can. There's the primal. It's a good trade. Point still. Lep somehow dies. Lep should have been able to avoid that. Points finally flips. And they commit EMP. Okay, New York is definitely in the hole, but not as much as they could be. So New York needs to touch point. We might see an aggressive fight from Boston to leverage and just ignoring point. That might happen. Psycho. Okay, so Boston is going to try to mirror point. They get the hack of decay. Big. Fitz somehow dies again. Fitz has had a lot of really stupid deaths, guys. I don't know. But there have been a lot of deaths that just should... Decay needs to die. That should not have happened. They do get the flip. It shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter. That's a big stick. And the beat's gone. So not likely to win, but it's possible. Fitz doesn't touch. Man, these deaths by Fitz are tough, y'all. So many fights have felt very winnable by New York. And Fitz just... dies. I think it might be through hack or sleep dart. I'm not sure which one, but tough. Fitz is so much slower in building EMP and so many first deaths on the Sombra. Rough. Translocator maybe? Probably yes. New York not looking too shabby though. I don't know how much of it was Boston's goof ups. Boston looked atrocious on Control Center. But well, I guess it depends on like what map we'll see here. Weird. I would love to see what happened with Fitz, because Fitz felt like he was first death at least 3 or 4 times. I assume it was either locator or manual hack. Which is tough because the level of like that kind of like instinct takes a lot of practice to be able to immediately respond and react to that. And if these teams don't have somebody, maybe Fitz doesn't have as much time on. I don't know a lot about Fitz, but depending on Fitz, how much time Fitz has on Sombra can be kind of hit or miss, you know. What are you guys thinking for match review on Tuesday? Obviously, we still have one more match after tonight. I'll probably call it after. I might even call it after this another map or two. I don't know if I'll even finish this match. We'll see. But what are you guys thinking maybe for review? Maybe San Francisco versus Atlanta might be juicy to review. Fitz is supposed to be a really good Sombra? Okay. I'm not sure then. Defiant Shock maybe? Yeah. Right, exactly, coffeeing. Exactly. Soul Game was good if you like game. Yeah, I've got nothing against APAC either. Maybe we'll do the Soul Game. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll put up a vote or something. I generally want to avoid the lower tier games because the people are less interested in seeing like a Valiant play, and also I think the higher tier gameplay is a little bit more interesting, more fun to watch. Guangzhou, I mean, it's Guangzhou's roster. Guangzhou's roster, I say roster. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Choice of One, Far Away, Xerneas, Jimmy, Piggy. Who knows, mate? Team plays a lot. You know, it's early in the season. Who knows? You're a Jimmy believer? Jimmy is a legendary name. There will never be a name as good as Jimmy. It just doesn't happen. Jerry? Oh, that's true, Jerry. I used to. I didn't hang out with Jerry, but I talk with Jerry sometimes. I used to review and because I was at the Boston thing when they had Jerry. People in the Owl Chat are saying buff Genji. True, they are. Jeremy. What if there was like an owl player named Jerome, or just Archibald, or Bartholomew? Just like the most old name, Randall. Or just Jeff, you know? Just something like that. Just like, what are like, okay, old man names. We need some good old man names. No, I need, these are Ignatius. Ruben. Dude, look, it's freaking Bartholomew, y'all! Dude, it's freaking Bartholomew! I knew it! Bartholomew. I think this is an S tier one. We'll make a list here. I think best names. We'll just say we'll call him Barth for short. Bartholomew. Can you? Is my head in the way? I think my camera's in the way. Dang it! We'll do the text thing. Bartholomew. What else we got here? Linus, that's all right. Rufus, I think Rufus is another Chad one. Rufus, Wilbur, Wilbur. Ralph is pretty good. Yeah, Leopold, Ralph. I just want one Overwatch League player to have a name like this. Alfred Cornelius Chester. I need something like we have something super old here. Winston, haha. Archibald. Dude, I freaking told you, Archibald. Ira, Preston, Solomon, Wilfred. Listen, if you don't have like a handlebar mustache and your name is Wilfred, you got some serious problems. Eugene. Yeah. Eugene. Hector. Ulysses. Stanley. Yeah, there's Abraham. I like Jethro or Jerome. Humphrey, Mortimer. Mortimer sounds like he either like feeds birds or collects human skin. I don't think there's anything in between. Sir Majid is a great name. True. Bernard, Gerald. I love you look at a name like Gerald and you're like, oh, this guy definitely is like, you know, this guy definitely is it takes a lot of pills, walks with at least 7 or 8 canes. It's like a human spider. Definitely watches golf, and the name is Ruler with the Spear. Not at all the association I'd have with the name at all. The game's starting, thank you. Oh man, it's tragic. I need an Overwatch League player named Gerald.
That as a Sonic, try to feel
It needs to happen as soon as we possibly can. Gerald with the 5K! Okay, Daimir, Hanzo, more open space on at least first point, so the Hanzos can definitely help. Storm Arrow is really good versus Armor Tracer as well. Obviously, you're more fragile, so you got to be careful, but Gerald at Overwatch 227, thank you guys. Big Nade and Izzyaki. Izzyaki should die. Nice. Body block. Oh! Oh, Psycho gets slept and smoked. Fitz gets hacked. So I will say this. Psycho, we literally talked about this in Kings Road London, y'all. Like, this isn't anything new, right? Twilight's just like existing with his head floating in an empty plane of the blue sea. Your tracer really has to be trying to mark as much as possibly you can, and like you don't want to get too tied up into like, oh, dive, because like your Hans is going to do damage. So just keep Striker out of business, keep Decay out of business. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing here. Like we can't have Fitz getting hacked and dove like last time. If you keep Fitz on a oh no, Smurf didn't make the jump. If you keep Fitz happy and healthy, then we're good. We're good to go. You can honestly even use, like, I don't know if you guys saw what Sparker was doing. You could even use your Sonic to, like, scout where you think the Sombra will be pathing. That's pretty useful, you know? Hey, Grim. Hi, Grim. Hey, kitty. They might need to nano that. Oh. There's a counter nano. Nice whip, Halo! Oh, Fitz. Why is Fitz dying? Oh! Creative! Yeah, so it definitely feels like New York is kind of going for the YOLO mode. They're not following my explicit instructions about marking, but they're getting they're successfully diving the enemy backline. So I guess, you know. Okay, I can't argue with the success. Archibald getting a solo team wide. Yeah, imagine a nano blade Archibald. There's nothing more terrifying than Archibald nanoed in your backline. Where's an owl player named Smelvin? There's the Sombra swap. The Sombra swap makes a lot of sense in the second point because the Hanzo sightlines are kind of dookie. So I like it. I like the Hanzo swap and swapping. And then now it's like you just go for the juice. You go for the backline. There it is. They're getting backline traded, but honestly, I don't even think a backline trade is that bad. For the attackers on this particular point. Uh-oh. Callan's gonna get primaled. Karma. Because you have a closer spawn. And it also was 2 ults for 1 as well. I think that was Nano and... I mean, I don't even count Pulse, I guess, but Nano and Pulse for EMP and Nano, or Primal, so we take it. And there's New York pushing the card again, so... Yes, we're good with that. Smurf having the time of his life, yeah. So, Fitz probably trying to build up that EMP. There's the early, that's a great timed rally. The EMP comes in as well. A bit of a weird EMP, but I think it caught Striker. I'm not sure who it caught. Smurf is already basically dead. Twilight should die. There's the rally. Super questionable. They need to turn around and find Striker now. Striker's in front line. Honestly, not even a bad rally, I guess, just to prevent you from getting staggered and snowballed if you're playing for a recontest. But you don't have a lot to piggyback that recontest off of, right? You just have that pulse bomb or a nade, so we'll see. Stick on Smurf, stick Smurf, stick Smurf, you coward. Stick Smurf, stick Smurf. Stick Smurf. Oh, Halo gets stuck. Oh. Smurf. Disaster. I mean, New York honestly took good positions there. They had good high control for the most part. I don't feel like it's just a matter of sticking, you know? Why is Brig being played instead of Kiriko Lucy or anything else? Well, Kiriko Lucy has been nerfed several times. Kiriko in particular has been nerfed several times, so that is one of the more nuanced takes that I don't really know the answer for. I can tell you more about like Moira and more about like more of the extreme examples, but I assume that teams have been able to make Ana work, and like you're gonna see Ana a lot more open sightline maps. Why that's happening more on King's Row second? Maybe it's just a snowball from first point. Like Ana has to be strong in King's Row first. I'm completely losing track of what's happening on my screen. You guys are baiting me. What happened there? Did Fitz meme P? Halo better than Brig and Lep? Probably, yeah. I think it might just be that Ana is really good on first point because it's more open for the Ana, and Kiriko is like not as good, but honestly, couldn't tell you beyond that. I don't have as much scrim insight as I have had in the past. Marking of the Striker. Counting its Bubble Forest, it's a little bit dookie. Halo's going to play for Rally, I assume. There's the hack. Hack doesn't work out. Smurf goes in really hard, and the death on Halo. A lot of backline trading. Who's my favorite Owl player? I don't know. How about one that I haven't coached or worked with? Probably Kevster then. Probably Kevster.
Absolutely feeling himself right now. He's gonna go ahead and go into the back line, just waiting for the perfect target because Creative is still trying to get out of spawn.
So EMP and Halo. Yeah. I'm not sure what happened with the ult setup and execution there, but New York lost a ton of momentum. But honestly, impossible for me to say exactly. Kayla was first death lot here, right? But we don't know what the DPS trades were looking like on the flank, how well New York were actually controlling angles and flanks and such.
That was such a tough position for the New York Excelsior to be in. As soon as you get that singular EMP into the front line, it's really tough to try to figure out who's going to touch from there.
There's always something more nuanced than that.
You don't necessarily have the mobility.
Do I have OWL replay access this year? Allow me to make a loud, sarcastic, and bitter laugh. Ah! That wasn't a laugh, that was a scream. That was more of a sad laugh. I'm not getting the adjectives right at all. Body! Thank you for the sub, mate.
I think New York Excelsior had some really bright moments on there.
No, I don't. Nobody has it outside of the Overwatch League teams, and they can't even stream it for content. How do I feel about the HER TV rally? I mean, it's a joke, honestly. I don't like it. I don't like the change. It reduces Briggs' like playability, like with like playmaking capability. It's a minor buff. It's not a minor buff. It's a decent buff to like her defensiveness and in particular self-defensiveness, but it reduces a lot of the dynamics with the hero. And it looks so stupid, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like wildly broken necessarily. But it's just so stupid looking. I think a stream is probably more appropriate. I was thinking more of a whimper. Fits on defense here. On Hanzo, seems good. I like it. I'll be curious to see if they mirror Hanzo in attack. They probably will. Oh, they go Sombra. Oh, okay. I think the first point is I feel like Hanzo has pretty decent potential in first point, but might just be a playstyle preference. I think the Sombra's fine. They do scout Sombra though. Oh, massive nade. Nah. Fitz gets his teeth kicked in. Shouldn't happen. I think they were doing it. They were trying to mark Striker from wrapping around from behind, which was the play. But Fitz basically by himself just walks onto Fitz and kills him. So I'm not sure what was happening there, but that's tragic. Appreciate you for listening to your song. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Oh, Smurf dies. Yeah, I mean, it was a good play by Decay.
Give that over to Smurf. Cycle through to the EMP. Decay getting a pulse bomb online pretty soon too. So they just need to wait until they have their full team back. But Spawn's right there. It shouldn't take too long.
So no super crazy ults coming online just yet. We'll see a pulse from Decay soon and a Nano. So we'll probably see it pretty aggressive. Again, we probably want to trade backlines if you're Boston into the Hanzo and the Sombra with your close spawn. So we'll probably see Smurf with Nano going in hyper aggressive. Probably a pulse bomb from a flank as well. There it is. They do scout it though, so that is a nice plus. Psycho really needs to be hunting Tracers and Sombras more than he is. It has shocked me how often this week I have seen Tracers focusing on backlines. Like London was doing it too much, I think. I think New York is doing it too much right now. I'm trying to think who else here. Right there. Why was Striker allowed to stage all the way in the backline without getting spy check? Why was Decay scouted and just ignored? Like, I feel like Psycho, especially when you have the Hanzo backline, like you need to mark the DPS. I don't think going for backline trades always just because you're playing a dive hero is good. And yet, so many teams have struggled with that, and so many teams have lost to that. Oh, oh. Oh, that's a massive nade from Twilight. Glad said the exact same problem yesterday. To me, it's just as simple as, like, your backline is more fragile. They're playing Sombra, we're playing Hanzo. Just mark their DPS. And the thing is it's honestly even, it's really good in the mirror, too. It's not just like, oh, if you're not in the mirror, then it doesn't even matter if it's a Sombra Tracer mirror. Like, you guys have seen how many times fights are being won because Fitz got hacked, right? Or Translocator got destroyed, or a Tracer gets hacked and the recall gets forced, right? Like, going for backline 24/7 just isn't always the play. And I feel like so many teams are losing so many fights to messing that up. Like, London just straight up lost New Queen Street to a Junker Queen, while there's some while they had a dive tank, while their Summer Tracer were getting completely turbo stomped. You are doing its best to give a seizure, yeah. This is GG's, mates. I'm not gonna lie. There's unless the stick comes in, this is GG's. Ah, see, look! Psycho dies first! Freaking the Sombra Tracer composition is actually marking the enemy Tracer first. Because Psycho messed up his timing pretty darn bad, right? He goes in way too early, so they just turn around and focus him out. And then they kill him, and then they turn around and focus everybody else out. Easy peasy. Die fundamentals, ladies and gentlemen.
Is going absolutely monkey crazy out here. He's able to clear the entirety of the front line. Yeah, Psycho, you could have that on Decay, but the rest of the Uprising are able to walk through map number 2 here.
Whew, what a map.
Yeah. I just think it's really important to understand that. Really important to understand that.
Ultimate timings, but Boston Uprising, they don't skip a beat here. That was a very fast attack push from them.
Yeah. Twilight looks like he's just delivered news as he's trash talking, and he's just like unamused trash talk. It's always the best type, you know. He always looks bored. Yeah. Wait, Izayaki looks bored too? Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Striker broke his camera punching in the camera again. Yikes, guys. This guy's Striker, man. You cannot always breaking stuff. What was I doing before we oh yeah, the old man names. Are there any good quality I think that horse has been beat halfway to death. Know your sync. Get rolled, mate. What did you do? Oh, I restarted it. My bad. I forget that every time I like go back, I ruin the sync. I'm being very selfish. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Striker, no striking, yeah. Bum 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 dum bum 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 bum. Create. Okay, somebody in my Discord is linking animals I could beat in a fight tier list maker. All right, let's do this. Somebody apparently was doing it in fast chat and I got linked to my Discord. I mean, obviously, easily handle this one. I think this is pretty reasonable. I don't know, guys. Freaking deer, like, okay, here's what I'm thinking with a deer. What if I mounted the deer and, like, got, like, a freaking rear naked choke in? What do you guys think? Like, if I got my head, like, you'd have to get your head, like, in tight, because I swear, you don't want to get near the horns. You'd have to get on it first. Right. You'd have to, like, I don't even know how you get a handle on it. It has to be easier than a zebra, though, right? It'd have to be easier than a zebra. Zebra, I feel like, would be, like, freaking turbo stomp. I don't know, but the freaking horns. I don't know. Easy. I mean, are we talking about, like, a giant octopus here? Does anyone know if this is, like, a giant squid? Or not octopus, squid? Same thing with zebra. You guys underestimate my raw athletic ability. I could probably hurdle the zebra's charge grab it by the nostrils, rip its head back. Who's your daddy? Smack it on the rump a couple times just because, and then just do like, you know, like the King Kong thing, like get the jaws and like the T-Rex. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'd tear the zebra inside out. Okay, is this a giant squid? If this is a giant squid, like, I there's no way. Like, I can't even imagine a world where I'd ever beat a giant squid. Yeah. If this is a giant squid, there's no shot. Same thing goes with this. Like, I mean, I don't even want to fight one of these things. Like, it's just not happening. I mean, what's the even point of fighting these guys? I think this is fair. You know, actually, I think deer and wolf would be pretty close. Because the nice thing about wolves is there's not as much that you have to worry about. Because turtles should be top row, surely. Yeah, I guess it's the but wouldn't it go? But I would be easier to fight one of these things because you could just like pick it up and like throw it up against the wall. This one would be slightly more challenging. But like a wolf, for example, they only got the teeth, right? I can handle that. No, you know what? Actually, no. I think it's winnable. Nah, no shot. Wolf is easier with a zebra. Nah, wolf is smaller, bro, and they don't like use their claws much, right? That's like cats, right? People fight mad dogs all the time, like a big pit bull. You know, it's not fun. It'd be like you could get really hurt, but like wolf is bigger than a big dog. No way. Okay, I'm looking. How big is a wolf? Yeah, see, you guys are idiots. Just look at this. Give me a break. Indian wolf. Oh wait, these are the wrong types of wolves. You guys are thinking like gray wolves here. See, this is a freaking timber wolf. Look at this scrawny little dude. This guy's like a freaking middle schooler. Look at this. You wouldn't even need to mount the thing. You just knee him in the jaw. Look, but the dire wolf isn't even alive, right? Arctic wolf is okay. Mackenzie Valley wolf is pretty big. But yeah, this I can handle this. No way! The thing will give you rabies in one bite. Yeah, see, now we're shifting goalposts here. I'm not getting bodied. Look. Go like, you know, and then you're like, and then you grab it, and you RKO the wolf. You know what I'm saying? No way. You guys are just scared of wolves because they're in packs, but in a 1v1, no shot, bro. I'd do the eye gouge. I'd be like, bop in the nose, eye gouge, grab under, and then Heimlich maneuver. That's not the Heimlich maneuver. But imagine if he doesn't jump at your legs, but at your upper body. Bro, have you seen my chest? He'd probably impale himself on my nipples. Okay. As soon as I opened my mouth, I immediately wished that it would go back. Okay. No, you guys are trolling me if you think like a wolf. No way. No. Yeah, like okay, big wolf, definitely more in this category. Most wolves, nah, fam, nah. The companion stream is on a pause here. Parrot, same thing with the T thing. It'd be kind of annoying and probably bite me or something. Okay, this one as well. I'm not so sure about. This is a Komodo dragon, right? Oh, geez, I don't know. They're pretty fast, aren't they? They can freaking climb trees. I feel like this is probably more this category. See, the thing with the Komodo dragon is how fast is it? Could I wear it out? Because if I could wear it out, run around, if I can outrun it and wear it out, I could probably, you know, it's a floor thing, so I could get kind of some, I could get like the, know what I'm saying? Like something like that, right? Like, you know, kind of do a little ring around the rosy. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They're venomous too. Yeah, see, that's the thing, the whole saliva thing. I remember about that. Briefly reach speeds of 12 to 13 miles per hour. Yeah, see, I can wear that thing out. I can wear that thing out. It's the claws that I'm worried about, though. I feel like it'd be like one of those things where it's like, you know, all fun and games until you make a mistake and then you're screwed. You know, Komodo dragon. Let's check this sucker out. Yeah, see, this is what concerns me. I think it's more doable than like it. I mean, yeah, it's definitely more doable than some of the other things out here. I think it's doable. I think it's doable. I would play very patiently. You know, wear it out, ring around the rosy, stomp on it. I just don't know how I'd finish a Komodo dragon. How would you finish a Komodo dragon? How do you finish a Komodo dragon? Like, how do you stomp it on the head? I mean, I don't want to get morbid here, but like, how would you finish one? You'd have to stomp it on the head. Get on its back and choke it, but no. I'd be terrified. I'd get clawed to death. It'd be terrifying. I think you'd have to stomp it. How do you finish a wolf? Bro, you just give it some sock, whack 'em, sock 'em. You could freaking punch a wolf, bro. Hammer fist! Ah! You know? What do you do versus this thing? With death juice? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it falls into the zebra category, but the zebra is more scary because it's faster. Of like, how do I even finish? Zebra is kind of hard to finish too. Dude, it's a freaking big deer it's a big buck. How do you even, the only way I could beat a deer in a 1v1 is if it, okay, I could beat a deer in a, okay, does anyone know how strong a deer's head is? Because if you could get, if it messed up, maybe I could grab its antlers and go, ah! You know, but I feel like that's unrealistic. It'd be moving too fast. I'd probably just like lose a finger. Right, so I think deer would be like really hard to approach. Body slams? No shot I'm picking up a Komodo dragon. I would be terrifying. I'd be terrified to get clawed to death. Lion, same category here. Eagle. I mean, honestly, like, okay, there needs to be a tier like around here, but like eagle would be freaking terrifying. Way better than turtle, but not that hard. Maybe I should put turtle. Okay, see, yeah, it's just too small. I couldn't get a rhino. Rhinos too. See, the problem is they're also they're so heavy and big. I know eagles are huge, but they're also really light. How much does an eagle weigh? Yeah. Yeah, see, 10 to 15 pounds. You kidding me? You guys can't beat a 10 to 15 pound creature? Read my last message. Well, no, but see, the thing shows a deer with horns, so I'm judging it based off of that deer. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess technically, if this is a cooked lobster, I guess I can easily kill it. Yeah, I mean, Oriole, whatever. Okay. How big are pandas? How big are pandas? I don't like this matchup. How big are pandas? They got pretty nasty teeth, I know that. Compared to humans, is there like a chart? It's doable. You know, this woman's smaller than I am. Definitely more doable than, like, I would say, what do you think, zebra level? They soak your punches, yeah. And they are really strong when they got nasty teeth. How fast? Because it could be a war of attrition that I can. Anyone know how fast pandas are? I think I'm thinking here. I don't definitely would not rather. It's definitely, it can't be above Komodo dragon. No shot. And you could give it a bonk on the head. But they're soft and squishy. They're definitely like, but surely. I think it would be a war of attrition again. Just a question about whether I could outlast it. Punching wouldn't do much, yeah. Maybe eventually, though. Maybe I could introduce it to a gateway drug, get it hooked to heroin, and then call its mother. Mother shows up. Mother loses her mind. Panda gives up. I went through there. The stupid aggressive? Oh, no, that's concerning. The speed is the main thing. Can I outlast it? Because I'm pretty fast. Probably okay. I mean, this probably falls into the turtle category where it'd be kind of painful to fight it, but I could handle it. Same thing with these here. Okay, we're just going to go and be honest. No freaking way. Okay. Crud, guys. You know, I'm going to be honest. I think I would you rather fight a gorilla than a tiger? No way. They're probably super fast. See, the problem is this category is like, there's so many animals in this category. There's no way. I don't think, like, I feel like, honestly, here's the thing saying, like even the orangutan, like, that thing is like, but those freaking strong, dude. I feel like orangutan is also going to be, like, almost impossible to beat. I mean, they're pretty big, right? And I know, like, are orangutans, like... Yeah, see, this is I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I'm not beating an orangutan. Yeah, there's a chance, you know what I'm saying? I might get a good, I'll give him the Muhammad Ali. I'll be like, hey, what's up, man? Put out my hand, grab the hand. He thinks he's gonna pull me in to bite me, but I actually I'm letting him pull me in, because that's right exactly where my fist is going. Fist to the throat, body slam. Foot to the groin, grab him by the ankles, swing him round and round. It doesn't matter how strong he is if I'm grabbing him by the ankles. He tries to do a crunch to grab me while he's being spun around, but the centrifugal force forces him, prevents him from crunching up. So then I release right into drywall, super embarrassing, chalk all in his face, grab him by the throat, tap the boy out. That is also possible, Leander, but we're not going to consider that. But definitely not a good matchup. What is that? Is that like a gazelle? I don't even know what that is. I think I can handle that. Based off of what we see, which appears to be missing its face. Alpaca? I can handle an alpaca. Not fun, but surely easier than this here. What? Probably kind of alpaca. Doable. Do you know what it is, guys? It's mountable, I think. They can't be that fast. How fast? Ugh. How fast is an alpaca? I mean, it's kind of like, it would be kind of like fighting a slower deer, right? I think doable. I mean, why is this even on here? I mean, like, obviously I'm going to lose to a shark. Obviously I'm going to use an African element. Is this a Mamba? Is this a green Mamba? No. Depends on the snake. I think I can handle the snake. I mean, you know I'm going to kill the snake. There's no chance the snake doesn't die. But it could go, I could also die too, I guess. There's no way a snake doesn't die. So I feel like this is This is probably the more accurate answer, but technically I would win, but then I would also die. I think Gators fall into the 50-50 category. I'm trying to decide. It feels like Gators are like more, okay, I grew up around Gators, and they are slower, not slower, but they're like less flexible, and their claws aren't as good as like Komodo dragon maybe. Dude, there's freaking gator wrestlers, you moron! They're people who wrestle them for a living! Of course it's possible! I don't know, you roll, don't you do the whole like, roll, like, okay, freaking, you guys are so uncultured. Gator wrestling. If you haven't seen gator wrestling, y'all are trash. Look at this. Look at that. Look. You get him by that, you grab him around. Look at these guys. Come on, guys. Look. You tell me that I can't handle something like this? It's doable. You can hold their jaw force. Look at this, Chad. Their jaw force is such that they have a hard time. If you close the jaw, you can, right? Oh! It's doable. It's doable. I think it's more doable than Komodo dragon. Yeah, but those people know what they're doing. Do I look like an incompetent moron to you guys? Okay. A horse? I feel like horse falls into the deer category, but like I don't even know how I'd approach a horse. I can foresee a world where it happens, but I feel like horse and zebra probably fall in the same category, right? We moved on. We're not answering that question. Like, how do you even approach a horse? I don't know. Like, it feels like the same as zebra, right? Maybe better. Like, how do you even tap that thing out? Like, okay, here's a theoretical question, strictly for the sake of science. If I were to throw a mean right hook, could I do damage to a horse? Seriously. Or if I theoretically could perform one of my phenomenal vertical jumps and somehow mount the horse, could I tap the horse out? Because horses could also bite, right? They also bite. Kick him in the balls. Bro, do you think I'm gonna wrap around that man's behind with the legs that they have and kick him in the nutsack? No way. That would be the last decision I'd ever make. Break its legs. You know, if I had something to beat it with, but it's a strict 1v1, so I wouldn't be able to. Yeah. Cheetah? You know, I actually think cheetah is doable. I'm putting it would be a close one, but I'd lose, I think. They're a lot smaller, I'm pretty sure. They're a lot smaller than a lot of the other big cats. You see? Not fun. What is that picture? That is disturbing. But it's doable. Owl starting? Okay. We'll resume after this. I'm feeling very confident about my odds. I'm already at the majority right now, so we're doing good.
This could be the match ender here for Boston.
Cheetah freaking suck at endurance? Yeah, that's true. You just outrun the cheetah, and then when it gets tired, then you can beat it. Sombra on Junkertown. There's no Widowmaker, so I'd be surprised if they played Sombra. Weird. I feel like New York should be on Tracer. Does Fitz play Tracer, ladies and gentlemen?
That's a really smart strategy to just kind of let your team know where you want to aim.
Would it beat another human? if it's any of you guys, yes, easily. At least 4 of you at the same time. Yeah, so basically they need to find a way. I don't know. Sombra's super weird. I don't. I like the Hanzo into what Boston's playing, but man, am I confused at the Sombra Tracer opener, and I am so confused at Fitz playing Sombra. I feel like if you're enabling your Tracer or your Hanzo, you'd much rather prefer a Tracer over a Sombra. Because Sombra just doesn't stop enemy flankers as much as without a tracer.
A little bit because Fitz is up there trying to contest.
I am lost, guys. I don't know what sort of scrim meta evolved to this monstrosity.
Oh, they are sandwiched. Oh, would like to counter rotate now. Huge
They've lost all angles. That might be a giant L.
right before they finish him off with a pixel of health. As Shockwave also meets them.
I don't get the Sombra.
Uprising are cleaning up the Excelsior in that side room. That was chaotic in such a small, close quarter fight that they had to take.
What did Necro just say? I don't even know what Necro said.
New York Excelsior may be able to get the upper hand, right?
Am I doing pick'ems for Al? No.
There from the Boston
Okay,
They still had Kellen alive.
I mean, it's like weird dive. You basically play to control their Sombra and Hanzo, look for dives. The problem is that theoretically, in this open of a space, a Hanzo can get a lot of value. But I guess if you go full flankers, maybe there's something that's not shootable.
Halo also has hers up and running. It comes down to these EMPs too. Like, do you get the timing of the rally right versus
They hit the 80 dives instantly.
or Fitz?
They're going for like these mini dives and Shockwave.
Had a great time so far at the start. But the rally now activated from Halo.
I just don't understand the Sombra pick at all.
It's another cleanup here.
Kalios is apparently... Kalios is the invisible man is currently at the computer. Kalios is gone.
Enemies so far, he was able to get that EMP.
I am so confused by what I'm seeing on my screen. Boston Uprising's comp is freaking bizarre. New York is even more bizarre in a weird way because it doesn't synergize well. Like the whole point is that you have a more fragile backline with the Bat Brig Hanzo. You generally want to play Tracer into that because Tracer will do a better job at finding, scouting, and harassing Decay and Birdring to keep your Hanzo alive. Tracer's a better 1v1 target, she's got more flexibility, she's less fragile, and so on. So I am so confused by this composition. I am completely confused. And you're not going to be able to kill an Ana Brig backline consistently at all.
They do lose out on Twilight, only relying on Izayaki for that sustainability, but Decay still remains to be a problem right now. The fall from Kalios. After you see that flux,
I am completely lost as to the strategy here.
Up against a timer. You've got 18 seconds remaining, and New York Excelsior have yet to capture this very first objective. You're looking at Creative's amplification matrix, hoping to buy some space.
oh, the accretion.
There's the cap though.
Kalios, less than 5 seconds out on the clock, Necra, and
When matches am I going to analyze? I'm just going to analyze one. Okay, well, like, this is not really an analysis. This is me shaking my head and going, what on earth? The analysis will happen on Tuesday, and card is not being pushed. I mean, that's honestly fine, but at some point it's going to have to be pushed. But we'll have to figure out, it'll be one match.
pushing all the way forward. Payload finally is
Ha! Kalios goes for the 360. Nice rock.
hold this choke point right now because you can see how the Boston were desperate to try to contest up there too. You saw Twilight and Izayaki originally were taking that position.
Shock Toronto, maybe?
Some of that
The funny thing is I feel like Fitz going Sombra is like giving Boston's comp value. If you went to like a sniper, like Bat Brig, which they did, but they did that with a Tracer, I feel like New York has the better comp until you see the Sombra. Like, because the Bat Brig with a Tracer marking is going to be able to live. I just don't understand the Sombra. But obviously, ults are ults, fights one, and so on. London, Washington, yeah. I mean, I watched that game, so definitely not going to analyze it. But like I said, I want to go for more of the higher tier games.
Finally getting a team fight win against the Boston.
More folks will be interested with the results, I think.
Second checkpoint with quite a bit of ease here. They did have to expend the EMP, but they still have Halo's Brigida rally to try to contend against an incoming one from Birdring. But I gotta give a lot of credit here to Fitz as well.
All right, so are they gonna? They're gonna look for an EMP in backline. Halo's gonna need to get a preemptive rally pretty soon, probably very soon. But obviously the Flux can counter that. So I'm not even sure. Maybe they dodge it. Rally now. Rally. Or just map window. Or just destroy Birdring. Oh, Halo waits way too long to rally. Way too long to rally. Like, you had the advantage there. You managed to dodge the initial ults. Just use the rally to confirm the fight win. Don't let them clutch it. And then use it too late and then lost fight. Soul versus Soul was cool. Yeah, maybe we'll do that one. Probably Soul versus Soul, Shock versus Atlanta, Shock versus Defiant, something like that. Creative gets spawn camped. Ouch.
And you also just got staggered there as Creative gets taken down. You just need to go back to the drawing board and take a little bit of a breather. Get Fitz into position before you try to make your entrance again.
I just don't. I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't understand the Sombra. I don't understand the Sombra. It has to be a hero strength pick or something, some strategy that I'm completely missing. You can definitely hack people out of flux. You can definitely stage for pressure on the Ana Brig. But I don't feel like either of those things are strong enough to justify the pick. Miss Nade. They're close to flux. They're close to EMP. Good rock and a Kalios. It's going to get a little bit of an HP. I don't think cart's a concern right now. They're going to be 2 fights on this point anyway, no matter what you do. Interesting flux. He is nanoed, so it's not going to do a whole lot. So I'm not really a big of a fan of that flux. EMP does cancel, but it doesn't matter. I don't even think it hit anybody, actually, besides maybe Kalios. No, it didn't even hit. I'm so confused. Just honestly confused. Like, Boston Uprising's backline, their DPS, I don't get it. But there was no Widow pick. There was no Widow pick. The Sombra is a really good cheese for Widow because she can stage on the Widow for basically free. That's why I thought they rolled out on Sombra. But then they stayed on Sombra. And then they stayed on Sombra. And then they stayed on Sombra. No idea. You're not going to control flanks with just a Sombra. I don't understand. They go off Sombra, they go off Widow. Well, that's not going to happen with Boston Uprising's comp. They're playing on a Brig, Sombra Tracer. It's not going to happen. Not likely to happen. I don't get it. So let's think about what they could do with the Sombra. They can go for backline consistently with Sombra, more consistently than Tracer because of the free staging. So that creates a distraction on the Ana Brig backline that allows you to win the frontline trade. You can build an EMP, which is a good ultimate. It's not near as good in the sniper trade because people don't get as close to each other as often. You get scouting information on the flankers, even if you can't beat the flankers.
That may be able to bring them some favors. I didn't want to talk about it yet because it just wasn't. We saw Life Weaver a little bit earlier today, which was definitely not on anybody's bingo card, but I don't expect to see it in this particular match. It was a great strategy though, just to be able to pop Decay up, see if he could.
This comp feels a little bit better to play Sombra into, because there are a lot of squishies that you can easily set up for. So, but if Decay does a good job marking Fitz, this might not even be a factor. Marking a Sombra as a Tracer is hard, but it's doable. Wife leave your pog. Huh. Decay's on card. Decay's not even trying.
The Uprising trying to counter rotate over on the other side with Burberry still able to get in a defensive position, but they call him out. He rotated just a little bit too late. Necro and Shockwave was able to come out on top of that fight, but then Decay is harassing your front line. Can't ignore Decay out here when he's also about to get the pulse.
Yeah, I'm not seeing enough pressure from Fitz on the backline for it to be justified. The Babs in are rotating really cleanly. I'm not seeing it. You would have to find some sort of a way to set up a Fitz translocator on your back, or setting up on your backline At the same time, going 3, 2, 1, rotate. Obviously, there's pressure on Bird Ring does make the swap because you're not gonna be able to make it work on second point, but weird.
Point A capture there, Vicky.
Time to work with. Look at that. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Swap to get the ant matrix. Clear up this high ground right with that window.
Ah!
Izayaki put in the damage.
Izayaki trolls.
Wave. Being able to find him as that single out pick right down that tunnel. It's another pick here onto Twilight. I love these.
Hanzo is really good in this matchup, I think. Bird Ring goes Hanzo.
From the uprising. This was necessary too for the Excelsior because Shockwave is one of those momentum-based players, Necro.
Absolutely. We saw Shockwave make an appearance on the Vancouver Titans last year.
Okay, Fitz is setting up. Still hasn't built an EMP. What is he cooking? So he's scouting the rotation. Shockwave gets pressured by Decay, gets cleared out. Still setting up in their backline. Still setting up in their backline. Decay gets shot at from the high ground. Babson is on the floor.
All the way back, Necro.
Fitz gets cleared almost immediately by the Babson. And then they isolate Shockwave. Fitz just now has built an EMP. And has contributed nothing at all.
Is creative and Kellen. Izayaki backing up in time too to try to give that support over to Kalios while also fixated on the payload. You can't sneak that right through us here. Excelsior
Why play Brig against only Tracer? Well, theoretically, if New York is able to play it properly, is theoretically you'd have your Brig being able to play aggressively, controlling like off angles and split off angles. Like you wouldn't have your team stacked with a Brig. I don't like the way New York was stacking their Brig as much.
harassing Halo, taking care of Halo, and getting that second point.
We're still haven't built a rally, by the way.
Such a big hero play from Fitz. If there was the follow-up on top of the EMP, but they're just.
I mean, you guys don't even have to take my word for it. You can see it here. It's ugly. There's a double sniper swap. Bless. In other words, the Brig is what's going to allow you to hold this high ground rotation here. The other supports won't be able to hold as much. What I don't like is that we have... Okay, there you go, Fitz. Fitz takes a little bit of an angle. We don't need everybody playing together grouped up to get value.
Oh, that was such an answer back because Decay has been a problem.
Would Zen be even more value or even Mercy? No, not Mercy. Mercy would be too fragile. It's not enough. Zen is arguably better, yes. But Zen is also very fragile unless you have a Tracer to attack their Tracer to keep your Zenyatta alive. And they didn't. They had a Sombra. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Really nice setup from New York, by the way. This has been like night and day in terms of their setup.
Third death there for Decay.
No, I can't show the whole stream, sadly. You can check it on YouTube and sync it up with the time at the top.
Defense on this position that Fitz is currently sitting in because right behind him is that different off angle that Shockwave is also going to be holding. So they could be covering a lot from the approach that Decay wants to go in with Bird Ring, who's going to try to find an opportunity to try to split up the back line that is the Excelsior now.
Yeah, but you only have two.
They rotate the now, so they go Tracer Sombra on it, which actually is pretty cute versus the double sniper stuff because there's a lot of squishies that you can pressure. The rally push, I don't know where the rally is.
Perfectly out here. 2 minutes.
They do clear Decay.
Activated the immortality. Oh, he's stunned right out of it too. Huge right there. Wonder if that was Kellen or Halo with the shield bash. High ground trying to be fought over by
Yeah, I'm not. Everything is happening off screen.
They're almost having a nice record out here. Izayaki with the transcendence, just a nail in the coffin after cleaning up the rest of the New York Excelsior.
Yeah, not a bad showing from New York. Some real head scratchers. Definitely looked a lot better on the first map than they did on the maps that followed, but it is what it is. I'm be very curious to hear the logic behind the Sombra pick. I'm sure that there was like some sort of strategy they were able to figure out in scrims, but they were not able to make it work there. But I mean, I'm always down to see something different. I think it would be very interesting. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna finish this up before we finish. Bing. Bang. Octopus. Valiant versus New York, yeah. What do you guys think about Octopus? Can I beat an Octopus? I feel like it's beatable. Yeah, that's true. Also, am I fighting in the water? Because I was no shot I could beat an octopus in the water. Because it's like too slow. If I'm fighting octopus in water, there's like I mean it's almost impossible. I feel like. So I'd be maybe. I think I'd put up a good fight, but I mean I could punch in the face and the eyes a lot, but no way. No, easy. Is that a puppy or a golden retriever? This thing looks too much like a puppy. Puppy? Okay. these are sussies. See, this is pretty easy. I feel like an owl is just an easier eagle or parrot. Why is there a whale on this list? I feel like sea lions are pretty big, right? Sea lion compared to human size. That's a sea lion, right? I don't think I beat a sea lion. I think definitely not good. Sheep would just be tedious. It would take a while. Oh, the crazing. I'm glad we didn't do that. Sea lion, okay, sea lion's got like the massive teeth, but they're super slow. So like you could play rope-a-dope with the sea lion, you know what I'm saying? Give it a little stomp on the butt cheeks. You would need a grip, you would need to wear the sea lion out and just you know, kind of, you know? It's tough. It's doable. It's not likely, but it's doable. Compared to a horse, like there's just literally no way I beat a horse or a orangutan. Sea lion in the water? Well, no, but you see the sea lion is not in the water in the picture, so I'm good. Cow. Jeez, man. I guess if it's just a straight up cow like in the picture, I think I could handle a cow. Dude, cow is a freaking... No, cow, I could handle a cow. It'd be hard. Bro, have you never gone to like a good old cow beating? Nah, fam. Easy. You just have to stay in front. They're too slow, I think. Cows are much less aggressive than sheep, dude. Yeah, but they're a lot bigger. I'm not fighting a bull. It's just a stupid cow. Dolphin. Okay, so this dolphin, unlucky for him, is floating in the air. So a dolphin levitating in midair, I think I can handle a dolphin levitating in air. Nah, I'm messing. That's not happening. Dolphin not happening. I mean, there's just like zero chance. Like I couldn't. What would I do? Like bonk it on the nose? Yeah. No way. Yes, it can. It could bite me a lot. It's also fast and like it's like, dude, if a freaking dolphin just freaking body slammed me, I would be like, you know what I'm saying? How fast do dolphins swim? How fast do dolphins? Oh my gosh, why are some of these questions? Wait, never mind. Hey, come on, how are they as fast as they swim? Yeah, okay, they're pretty fast. Like I would just like, you know what I'm saying? Top speed of 22.4. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do anything to a dolphin. I could like punch it in the face a couple times. It would probably take a while for him to beat me, but it would get me. It would get me. But 3 to 7 miles per hour is a joke. No way it's 3 to 7 miles per hour. Nah, goat's handleable. Goat is probably... It depends on the size of the goat. You see what I'm saying? Like, see, there's some big goat. There's some big goats. To human. But I guess if the picture is accurate, like this is not a big goat. So I think it's doable. I think it's doable easily. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, I mean, this size of a goat is doable, but bigger goats definitely fall into this category. Definitely. And honestly, if it was like a legit straight up like mountain goat, maybe even like somewhere in between, that would be tough. All right, let's think here. Can handle these, probably can handle these. I think it could go either way. Nah, definitely not. I'm dead. Why is this even on the list? I'm not getting rolled by a wolf. It's 50-50. You already saw how big the wolves are. They're like, yo, you know, I can hank a wolf. It's a chance. Nah, sheep you wouldn't be able to rip apart. You know, it's all about the clubs. You know what I'm saying? Hammer fist, RKO. He's done. No, wolf doesn't roll me, and you're afraid, which is why a wolf rolls you. If you're an alpha like me, trust me, I've read all the alpha male booklets, okay? I can handle a wolf. They hunt elks in packs, you moron. In packs. If there were like 40 of me, I could hunt elks too. If there was like 40 Spylos running around at like 20 miles per hour, I'd be able to hunt elks. What are you talking about? Yes, I could. I could hunt elk. Maybe the cheetah tiger should be one lower. Cheetah, no. Cheetah is pretty spooky. They've still got the claw. The thing with cats is the claws. You know what I'm saying? There's too many multi-dimensional attacks. You know what I'm saying? And tiger is like the same category where it's like, bro, there's like freaking man-killer tigers out there. No way. They hunt moose, which is honestly scarier. Well, but bro, there's like so many of them, and half of them all get stomped and die anyway. Honestly, most of these change a lot if you're allowed to throw rocks. I would say most of them, but some of them do change. Like this one is pretty easy if I'm allowed to throw more rocks. I think if I was able to throw rocks versus these two, I could probably handle these two a lot easier as well. Alligator for sure is a lot easier. I don't think the rhinoceros becomes much easier with rocks. Okay, well, but how big is an octopus? What octopus is this? Because I know some octopuses are small, right? Or like they're tiny even. Like a lot of octopuses are like yay big. You know, I can handle an octopus that big. I guess I'm assuming a giant octopus. Is she being ugly? Or she's stealing food? What is she doing? Wow, uggles. I know I could beat a cat. But we don't know how big an octopus is. So yeah, okay, so let's just say a average size octopus, probably more in this category. Yeah, okay. How about, okay, think about this. I get swallowed by a whale. I have a bomb. As I'm going through their small intestine, detonate the bomb. But, joke's on them. It's a delayed detonation. I stick it while encapsulating myself in a body bag with an oxygen tank. I survive the digestive process. Bomb is stuck to their colon. Massive bellyache. Big explosion. I do the Fortnite dance as I float to the surface off of the tidal wave of the bomb. I think that would work. You lose to a whale on land, with or without bomb. Bro, that's where the rocks would really come into play. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I think the rocks would come into play here. Is there anything in this list that's even remotely beatable? Like, no way I could even beat a squid. Those freaking things are huge. I think that's a giant squid, right? That's a giant squid, right? Maybe it's not a giant squid. Those things are huge. That thing's not that huge. I don't feel like I could. Yeah, not in the water either. How could I even beat a squid in the water? It's like, yeah, it's just not doable. Rhinoceros, no. Lion and tiger, there's just no way to approach it. Like, they're too fast. We got claws. Yeah, gorilla, no. Orangutan, no. I mean, orangutan, there's a world. Like, orangutan, there's a world where I get a lucky shot to the head. Because they could be really strong. But when you have a block of steel entering your skull, your strength doesn't matter. Your skull thickness does. So there's a world where I got a lucky punch in and one hit KO. But if I don't get that one lucky punch, I think I'm done. Bites, strength, speed. I don't think the same applies to gorilla. I think gorillas are simply too strong. I think I could probably punch a gorilla as hard as I could, and it still wouldn't matter. But orangutans are a lot smaller, like a quarter of the size. Venom is injected, poison is not. That's the difference between venom and poison. A black widow is venomous. A salamander with poisonous skin is poisonous because the salamander doesn't inject or assault you with it. It punishes you for assaulting it. Just like Drano is poisonous, not venomous. But if I were to inject Drano into my skin and then insert needles by which to inject you with, like, think about like Wolverine, but with Drano. I punch you and I inject Drano, then I'm a venomous creature. Or I could wrap my thighs around their head and pop them. Yes, that is possible. I just don't see anything in this list that I could maybe do, but like it just wouldn't happen. Like I couldn't even get a hit in on an elephant or a gorilla without just being mauled. I mean, maybe theoretically, but I'd be scared to even fight any of these. Like there's no chance. Like there's just no chance, right? Is there any chance if I got like this massive thigh kick to the head of a tiger or a lion that I'd be able to knock it? Like I feel like the only way that you beat a lot of these animals is through knockouts, right? But I don't see being, because there's nothing else that a human can do. But there's nothing else but there's no way that I can knock any of these guys out. Like, how would I knock out anything here? Because I can't, my hands don't do anything. I can't kick them. I can't bite them or claw them. There's no way. Now, what would be interesting is if you gave me a metal bar. A metal bar, talking about like a big metal bar here, gets a little more interesting. A couple of these move around a tier. And the problem with the water ones is it's just like an inherently flawed comparison because you're so slow in the water, you know what I'm saying? Or like a spear. How does a seal beat me? Because, I mean, it's a game of rope-a-dope, right? It's a sea lion, too. It's not a seal. Does he have a pipe bomb? I mean, I think I could take anything with a pipe bomb. I mean, anything, right? I mean, you could do some serious damage to pretty much everything. How about redo this tier list, but I'm infected with the plague? How about I redo this tier list, but I have a weed whacker? With like infinite cord. Can you imagine just a gorilla comes up like, you know, you're just like, how about I redo this tier list, but I have a really big glass jar? What if you were in a semi-truck but you didn't have arms? Yeah. A plank with a nail in it. Yeah, see? Well, I redo this tier list, but I have an infinite supply of mouse traps that I lay all around the floor around me. instantly cripples everything. Can you imagine a whale, and I just throw in the water, like I'm throwing like handfuls of mouse traps, and can you imagine his poor skin, and he's just covered with mouse traps. Oh, the shark opens the mouth, I grab the fin, I juke, I get an armload of mouse traps into the gullet. Can you imagine a shark swallowing a bunch of mouse traps? Talk about misery. Can you imagine mouse traps for a giant squid? I feel like mouse traps and giant squid would actually be really good. Really good, I think. Big potential there. Lots of arms, lots of little tendrils, big potential. And cheetah too. Oh my days. Can you imagine a whole thing with cheetah with just mouse traps? But you have the owl casting panel on my team. It wouldn't matter, right? Wouldn't matter. I mean, watching Jake Overwatch take on a giant squid would be pretty funny, but I don't think that would be effective. Or maybe Zoe gets swallowed by the whale first and just grabs onto the uvula, or whatever that thing, and then just yanks really hard. Meanwhile, Reinforce is hammering on that soft palate as hard as he can. Jake just gets swallowed straight up. We don't ever hear from him again. I don't know, what would Danny do? No, I could take a cheetah potentially by myself, maybe. What if I have a musket? Very doable. Very doable. A lot of these become more doable. Like a one-shot kill on a couple of these animals become very doable. And then also having the weapon to fight with, even if I don't hit the shot, it's winnable. There's a chance, at least. You know what I'm saying? There's a one-shot chance on most animals here. I don't know how penetrating the bullet is on something like a rhino or an elephant. Probably not penetrable enough, but at least versus tiger, lion, gorilla, squid, bear, orangutan, definitely doable. And then also having a weapon to fight with gives me more options versus something like a tiger and a lion. Redo the tier list, but I'm extremely constipated. That would be an interesting one. Redo the tier list, but I haven't had grapefruit juice in 6, maybe 7 weeks. Redo the tier list. But they have to do the tier list with me before they fight me. Redo the tier list, but the Star Wars sequels never happened. Redo the tier list, but every animal has access to shuriken or shurikens. Redo the tier list, but my dad tells me he loves me. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Redo the tier list, but the animals are half drunk. Redo the tier list, but each of the animals has a severe nicotine addiction. There's so many potentials here. This could really shift things up. Can you imagine an octopus that can't put the SIGs down? And we're not talking about a pack a day. The thing's got 8 arms. The thing is cooked. I just need to last a day. Yeah. I think the majority of these animals, though, I'm pretty proud that I can say that it feels like at least the majority of the animals are above. It's close either direction, though. All the animals have just eaten the animal prior to them in the tier list. Think about it. Ooh, yeah. See, if the whale has eaten the elephant, that gives me a serious advantage. Imagine trying to fight a gorilla that has just eaten a rhinoceros. I think that's a much easier fight. Or a tiger that has just consumed an entire squid. What would the tiger even do? Or a squid that has eaten an entire octopus? Or how about this one? The deer eats the gator first. Easy one. Easy win. Okay, chat. I'll be gone. Farewell. Loves and kisses. We'll be back on Tuesday with a match analysis. Stay tuned to my Discord. We will take a look at, we'll set up a voting or whatever for what match we want to actually look at. See you guys on Tuesday. Loves and kisses. Spotlight.